I was just playing to the. Tell me about the. Why am I watching this?
That's what I got from that.
Dude, get to the dude. Come on.
You
Up
agree?
in your guts, bro. That is vulgar. That's terrible. Why would he say that, you guys? Why would he say that?
You spoke about your deep hole. You spoke about getting in.
You spoke about your deep hole. Dickers, chill.
Can you?
You guys mind if I come in the back door? This isn't real. This isn't real. Dude, why are we talking about this in public? Why are we talking about this in public? I want it written in blood. I would never throw it back. I would never throw it back, you guys. I would never.
That's why I'm saying this is after.
That's even like a scoreboard. 1 Cinderella, 2 new vapes, 3 fingers in my ass, 4 more Jorkinits. Oh my god. Went down a bit of a rabbit hole the other night because I was like, who is this Parlo person? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. So we read the Google documents last night. I'll synopsize them for everybody. In one of the documents, it was the response to Parlo's document. The person that he was accusing made a response essentially to the original document, and in it, he says, you know, like, all of your problems are your own fault. Your gambling addiction, this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, this seems actually like kind of fucking juicy. I'm kind of interested in this. This is kind of piquing my interest. So I was kind of just, you know, poking around, and I found some crazy fucking shit, bro. Okay, so yesterday DZ messaged me, and DZ was like, don't stream yet. I'm watching this gay video on Queeman's channel. And I was like, what did you just say? And so I was like, okay. I was and Morale messaged me about it, and I was like, do you have the documents? And he said, yeah. I said, how many pages are they? He said, maybe like 180 total. I said, okay, I can probably read that. And so I was like, all right, let's just read through these. I had never heard of this person before. Not even once. So this is Parlo. Parlo is like, what is this? Roblox? Parlo is a Roblox YouTuber. Very cool. We certainly love that. We certainly love that Parlo is a Roblox YouTuber. That's awesome, of course. 634k subs. This is the first time that I'd ever heard of this person. This is the person that came back from the dead to try to revive the pyrocynical drama, which I know very little about, to be completely honest with you. And so I was like, what? Let's just get into this. Let's just do like a blind read. Okay, let's just see what we're cooking with. Parlo is 21 right now. And Parlo recently got into it with, like, the allegations that Parlo dropped are against Internet Adjacent. And I only know of Internet Adjacent because I watch Internet Adjacent's videos on Tactical Templar. So that's how I knew who Internet Adjacent was. So I was like, this is kind of interesting. So I read the documents on stream, and Parlo and Internet Adjacent met up in real life and, like, hooked up. And then Parlo, like, accused Internet Adjacent of, like, pressuring him and manipulating him and gaslighting him and raping him, basically. And we read through the Google documents, and they were not compelling. Not compelling, to say the least. They were not compelling at all. So we read through them ourselves last night. I gave my opinion. I don't think that anything happened. I don't think that fucking anything happened. I think that Parlo's a fucking liar. That's what I think. So I think it was Queeman that watched Dicker's stream, and that was what Queeman covered as far as the thing went. So this is the one from yesterday. So Dickers goes through the documents here. And the other thing that I wanted to point out as well is I was reading through this.
Shine it in.
There is, like, not a single person that's not involved in this drama for some reason. I don't quite understand, like, how or why, to be completely honest with you. Ace Howler, the one that does the podcast with Lio Convoy, is somehow involved in this. Goat Cato is involved in this. Himpleton is involved in this. Like, I was very, 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 very shocked in looking through the Google document, because literally I was floored. So I did read these last night. But we'll let Dickers kind of recap it. I also was pretty lackadaisical in my coverage because it was like 11 o'clock at night and my wife was trying to sleep, so I couldn't be like screaming. So it is pretty it's pretty flat coverage. But yeah, we can go through and look at things as needed, you guys. And then as I said, I do have some some very interesting information that I found on Parlo. So let's go ahead and lock in. And a man's life hangs in the balance. It's time for another homosexual review. All right, let's begin.
Honesty, truth. That's what I believe in, okay? Gonna shine it into the darkness and expose what's been going on. Himpleton forwarded a message by Parlo's manager that basically said, I'm not gonna get involved. I'm not gonna tell Parlo what he can and can't do. That's between them. Himpleton, then apparently, according to Internet Adjacent, sent that to him and convinced him, look, listen, okay? These guys are gonna drop the document. These guys are gonna drop. You need to drop yours first. You need to drop yours first. But these guys, Himpleton knew, had already got an agreement between each other that they weren't gonna drop it. That's what.
So basically what ended up happening, and the way that he's describing this, is that Parlo accused Internet Adjacent of sexual assault, coercion, what have you. And they had talked about it privately, and both of them were like, we should just keep this private. Like, we shouldn't, like, it shouldn't be talked about publicly, right? Like, obviously, you would think. And what Himpleton did was Himpleton convinced Internet Adjacent. He convinced Internet Adjacent that he was that he was gonna drop it. That he was gonna drop a Google document on him. And so Internet Adjacent preemptively dropped his to like defend himself against the document that was never gonna drop anyway. So Himpleton basically caused all of this by gay opsing everybody, which I mean, I guess we have content about it, guys. I guess we have content about it, I suppose. I guess we get content. I guess that's the silver lining. But anyway, yeah, if you guys ever talk to Himpleton, don't trust that fucker, okay? If you guys ever talk to him for whatever reason, if that guy's in your fucking DMs, block him. That guy's fucking trouble, okay? That guy is fucking trouble.
Why this has come out. That's why this has come to the fruition. Because Himpleton has been fucking buddy trolling people. That's why. Just FYI, I thought I'd let you know. Just FYI, because I spoke to Parlo after that. And I even got his manager on the line. To basically ask, what's this message mean? Can you give me the rundown of this conversation? What are you saying here? So, oh, well, just saying that I don't control Parlo. He's like his own person. Okay. Parlo, did you have any plans to release this document? No. No, I didn't want this to go public at all. I asked Internet Adjacent. Why did you choose to release the document? Oh, well, somebody told me that Parlo was going to release his, so I need to get out in front. I respect it, okay? I respect it. At the same time, I feel like the drama farming may have gone a little bit too far. If you want to convince somebody that it's maybe in their best interest to release their document, that's okay. But lying about what messages mean or lying about other people, I don't know. That's a little bit. Himpleton played a good game? Yeah, kind of, but I don't know.
Somebody said something about Himpleton to me, and I was like, I don't know. Like, Himpleton literally cried on stream and had a level 10 fucking meltdown. I really don't want an advice. Like, I'm sorry. I'm good.
Oh, it's not the kind of game that I play, okay? I don't lie about what other people are going to do in order to try and stir drama. Because I was speaking to Himpleton about this in his server, and he seemed very, very annoyed that weeks of work, in his words, were going to go to waste. What did he mean by that? Anyway. Nice. Fat AIDS Dog thinks the game's icy players are evil. What Himpleton does is cool. Okay. Whoa! A chatter said what? Chatter said what? No way! Shut up, you. Alright. Let's get into it. Okay. Free Ash shirt and mug. That's how we do it. Okay. Nice. Let's have a gander. Dickers, what did you leak? Dickers? Nothing compromising. Dude, it's just like I'm on the call with Parlo, and then afterwards I'm on the call with Internet Adjacent, and they're both like, literally word for word. Oh, God, I wish this didn't have to come out. I wish this didn't have to come out. There's so much of my life that's now, like, exposed. I wish I could move on and nobody had to know about any of this. I really wish. Oh, my God. Okay. Let's have a gander. One sec, I got a DM. Alright, jump on whatever. Address the allegations, Brit Boy. Dickers, you were named. I don't know what you mean. Named in what? Feel free to send me. In the document. No way. Anyway, let's have a gander.
Oh, he was named in the document, true.
What we're going to start off with, okay? Despite the fact that Internet Adjacent released his document first, trying to get out ahead of the Parlo stuff. It's
correct.
realistically like a response to what Parlo's going to include in his, so it makes the most sense. We'll go through Parlo's first. Like again, I've already spoken to Parlo, so none of this is probably going to be new. This is stuff that I said to him in private. Let's have a gander though. Let's have a look. Let's actually get my OBS sources working. Okay, here we are. Here we are.
All right.
Here we Internet Adjacent situation. Okay.
Oh,
can I get like a better view?
hang on, we gotta reorganize. My Roblox is right in the way. Hang on. Let's make it like bigger so it's more threatening. Yeah, we want it to be as threatening as possible. Perfect. There we go. That's very threatening. Very nice. That's perfect, guys. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. I've never seen something that I like more than this. That's awesome. Then I can... What? Awesome.
Can I do a little bit of a... Can you get it to fit? Thank you. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, let's go.
Let's get into it, yeah.
So this document covers allegations / topics pertaining to sexual predation, pedophilia, coercion, unwanted contact, idle ideation, side baiting, emotional manipulation, image leaking, and privacy invasion, sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, let's go! No, okay, well, hold on. Okay, Parlo wouldn't send me his document earlier. This is one thing here. Oh, dude. This is one thing that...
And also, colossal shout out to Arby, because the document is no longer accessible. The document was taken down, obviously because this blew up in Parlo's face, and you'll see why. In stream chat, there is a copy of the document, okay, you guys, that Arby was so kind enough to find for us on the Wayback Machine, because Arby works overtime, okay? Everybody say thank you, Arby. Thank you very much.
Has changed, in my opinion. So I spoke to Parlo about this earlier, right? I was like, so what is, like, brass tacks, what is the accusation here? What word are you using? Because I've heard the word being bandied about a lot. And Parlo basically says, no, I'm not calling it rape. In fact, I'm not putting a label on it. People can refer to it as whatever they like. I'm not gonna put a label on it myself. Trigger warning, sexual predation, coercion, unwanted sexual contact. What do we call unwanted sexual contact? If somebody's touched you, and you didn't want them to touch you, that would actual, no? Okay, never mind. Anyway. So, Internet Adjacent / Wolfgang is a commentary YouTuber with 14.4 thousand subscribers, known for creating topic-based commentary and news channel, and covers ongoing internet dramas and situations. He was also once a close associate and friend. Holy fuck, we're going straight into it. Internet Adjacent has a history of prior allegations pertaining to his behavior during Anthrocon 2024, such as alleged sexual assault and unwarranted advances towards others. That is absolutely fucking crazy to leave it off like that, okay? Kalora Vetla be damned. I tried to take a look into the Anthrocon stuff. That's what I was referring to at the start of the stream, when I'm talking about drama that nobody needs to know about, that nobody does know about, drama that's, like, mostly worthless. That is the Anthrocon stuff. Like, I've taken a look at it, okay? I've tried to take a look at it, believe you me. There really is just, like, very, very little there. Very, very, very little there. Like, genuinely. There's basically nothing. You can tell Parlo started to make the document a while ago, because Internet Adjacent has gained 2k subs now. He's been growing fast, to be fair. Oh no, he did rape. Well, that's the thing. He does have previous allegations. Listen, to summarize it, okay? The Anthrocon stuff, so far as I'm aware, is... He was a little bit of an embarrassing guy, okay? Fuck it, we'll put chat on for this. There's no way this is getting monetized either. The amount of times that I'm going to need to say is... Let's go! Okay. Chat box, nice. How's it going, Toastify? I'm glad to hear that drama YouTubers are now having gay sex. Shout out to John Swan and Edwin.
Hell
Thank you,
yeah,
Toastify.
dude.
Basically, Anthrocon drama, so far as I remember it. If anyone disagrees with this, okay, you've got perms, you can join. I might give Paolo perms as well. Basically, he, Internet Adjacent is beaten up with a bunch of his furry friends, right? They're going out, one of them is on his phone, looking at basically gay grinder. I think it's called Woof or Bark. I've completely forgotten, okay? He's like, oh, what are you doing, friendo? Friendo is like, oh, I'm looking for gay sex. Internet Adjacent says, would you like to have sex with me? He goes, yeah, sure thing. Yeah, we can have sex. That sounds nice. And then Internet Adjacent kind of, slips his hand on his knee, reaches in for a kiss. However, Bark Boy did not want that, okay? Bark Boy did not want hand on the knee and a kiss. He's one of those, like, no.
Well, and then this is the general sentiment of this entire situation. Again, spoilers, you guys. The entire fucking problem with this is that not a single person in any of the people that are involved in the allegations, the previous allegations, it's the same fucking thing. So when Dickers is talking about this, it's like they agree to, like, meet up and hook up and have, like, gay sex and shit. And then when Internet Adjacent makes a move, they're like, and it's like, you guys literally met up to fuck. Like, could you imagine meeting somebody on Grindr and you're like, okay, like, I'm gonna try and go for a kiss, I guess, because we're here to fuck. And then the person is like, you just tried to fucking me, what are you doing? That's what this comes down to. That's what all of this fucking comes down to, dude. Is like, nobody is like, oh, no thank you, I'm not interested. Like, nobody could just say, no, actually, I'm good. everybody was like, no, yeah, I totally want to, and then they'd be like, actually, I was right. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's not gay grinder, it's furry grinder. It's worse, okay?
Oh, romantic touch kind of guys, you know? He's one of the, like, you get people like that who have, like, casual sex, but they draw the line at kisses and cuddles, you know? Yeah. Woof is not a thing, it was probably scruff. Thank you, Romeo. Okay. You seem overly familiar with the process. Listen, okay, like I said, I've gone over this. But that's what happened, right? So there was an initial problem. However, there was 2 following days where that's sexual assault, FYI. That's the alleged sexual assault. After saying that, yes, we can hook up. I would like to have gay sex with you. He put his hand on his knee, and leaned in for a kiss, and that was sexual assault. Yeah. But it seems like I'm gonna be completely real, okay? Everyone just leaves it there and is like, whoa, that's like false allegations. The people who were leveling the accusations at the time, by the way, even said, well, you know, people say that sexual assault is like a big, kind of mean, scary word. It doesn't necessarily mean anything that bad. Okay, right. Feels like the worst thing you could possibly say if you want your allegation to be taken seriously. But anyway, on from that, Internet Adjacent seems to just like go to a club with them. It ends up being a gay club, like a gay bathhouse where everyone's shagging. Gets like horrendously fucking drunk, like throws up at the club, and then I guess all in all, he's kind of like, it feels like an outsider entering into a new friendship group that's pre-established, but he's joined them, he's staying with them, he's going out partying with them, he can't hold his drink, and he's fucking vomiting everywhere. So presumably, the hookup gets called off, and then maybe they're thinking back on it like, oh, okay, I didn't really like when he put his hand on my knee. That made me feel weird, actually. In fact, this guy's kind of gross. I don't like this guy at all. This guy's kind of, ugh. And then it develops into an accusation of SI, right? That's what basically happened with Anthrocon. If people want to correct me on that, if anyone wants to disagree with me, feel free to join, okay? I've got my eye over on the waiting room stuff, or if you want to send me anything else, feel free, okay? That's basically the summarization that I'm going to give. Okay, threatening super / side baiting. Dude, what the f is this?
Oh, is this the audio? Oh, so this is the audio that I couldn't get to play. Apparently, this is like an actual, like, suicide bait. So, to my understanding, this is Wolfgang. Wolfgang is internet adjacent. They call him Wolfgang in this. And he's at a hardware store looking for a hose, and he says that he's gonna kill himself. And so my first question was like, how the fuck do you kill yourself with a hose? But it was explained to me that he would like try to asphyxiate himself with CO2. To which I said, why not just like sit in the garage and turn on the car? Like, why do we need the hose? The hose seems kind of crazy. But so this is one of the examples that's used in the document. So this audio is actually kind of fucked. I will agree with that. The audio is kind of fucked. But so here we have a screenshot, and it's Parlo saying, how much is the plane ticket? Wolfgang says, I have no idea. Parlo says, and I need to speak to my dad about permission to go to the apartment because of the bail conditions. We'll get to that later. Wolfgang says, do you think he'd allow you? Also, sorry to go AWOL for a little bit. I'm at the hospital. And then Parlo says, oh shit, what happened? And then Wolfgang says, I can talk about it later. I'm uncomfortable with the subject right now, and I might not be able to go home tonight. And so this was on the 10th. The same day, the exact same day. Oh, okay, never mind. The 3rd of October. And then this is the 10th of October, and he sends a picture and says, hey, because he's still at the hospital. And then this is the example that we use of suicide baiting. The example of Wolfgang attempting to fish for sympathy due to his situation at the hospital. This was due to him being dissuaded from the fact that I was not responding to him enough and giving him attention. Literally, the conversation ended, and it's the next day. Like, you guys are texting, you guys are sending each other salacious text messages. One of you guys falls asleep, and then the next morning you send another text message to say, good morning, beautiful. Oh my god, literally, you're not getting enough attention. Like, this guy's fucking insane. And I'm being, like, really aggressive, but don't worry, it gets worse. You guys might think, hang on, Malcolm, this is page 5 of the document. Okay, I already read the document. I know where it's going, okay, but I'll let you guys make your own judgment. So he's seen instigating a topic of conversation about him being in the hospital to elicit a response following an image of him at the hospital saying, hey, once again to get my attention, which I am seen expressing my concern. Which would be like, hey guys, sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I was actually at the hospital. And then you guys are like, oh my god, Malcolm, stop suicide baiting in chat. Malcolm, suicide baiting confirmed. Malcolm, suicide baiter. Malcolm, suicide baiting confirmed. And it was literally, he's just like, hey, I'm at the hospital. That's literally it. Okay, whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. I fucking hate this guy. Sorry.
Yeah, hello? Hold on, I gotta fix my audio real quick. Yeah, go on.
What's good?
Ooh, what's with the call? Because we don't usually do this.
I don't know. I'm just in a good mood.
Yeah, I know. You're in the mood to kill yourself.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that sounds so down about it.
I do. It's kind of devastating, honestly.
Well, what can you do?
Who the fuck is the person on this call, bro? Who the fuck is the person on this call? Listen, I've been pretty consistent on this in the past. Accusations about suicide baiting fly fucking wild online. I'm super fucking skeptical of them. Realistically, you get all the benefits of suicide baiting by actually being genuinely suicidal. People give you attention, they give you sympathy, right. And so is somebody manipulating somebody else and faking being suicidal, right? Baiting as if they're going to kill themselves when they actually have no intention to? Or is this just somebody who's like genuinely despondent, ahedonic, and suicidal? I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, who is this person?
Like,
how's it going, Tyrone?
what's with the garden hose?
Carbon monoxide poisoning. Gonna duct tape it to my gas tank, and then my gas tank exhaust, and then put the other side through the window.
When are you gonna do this? Like on call or something?
When I get bored. I mean, I just reached out to who I thought were my friends of, the past few months, and found out not only were they not my friends, but they actively hated talking to me. So, I don't know. It can't really get much worse. I can't really get many more reasons to go, but yeah. And then they said that, actually, they talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people hate me, so, yeah, really can't get many more reasons. This stupid plastic on this thing, come on.
Another thing that is particularly interesting as well is when Parlo and Wolfgang met up to hook up, they were like kissing or something, and Wolfgang took a picture of them when they were kissing. And one of the things that Parlo includes in this document specifically is that, oh, well, he took a picture of me without my consent, which is like basically being assaulted. Meanwhile, all of these people are recording Wolfgang while he's in crisis, and all of these people, they also recorded him without his consent when they were in the Airbnb while he was crying, and put it in this document. So they're yeah, the Halo theme is, you're right, maybe that's a little bit much, maybe. It's very very interesting. So
I mean, I don't know. I feel like telling someone who you just found out was gonna kill himself to like cut off is a little crazy, but hey, I guess that's just me. What do I know? So wondering if I should do carbon monoxide or if I should come with like MacGyver type trap. Because I want it to be like people know that it happened. Like, I want it to be infamous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people. I want media cover that.
You know what you actually desperately fucking need?
Like, okay, this sounds really fucking bad, okay? This sounds really, really fucking bad. But I just want to put in there, it's not the most unusual thought for somebody who actually has ideation. The idea that a bunch of people who've, like, treated you badly because you're depressed about everything, so you think that everyone hates you, is going to find out that you died, and then the idea or thinking of them, like, feeling bad or giving sympathy, that's like a common part of ideation.
and this is actually true. The colloquial term is suicidal hate, where, you want to prove a point, or like you'll care if I show you how serious this is. Like if somebody upsets you bad enough and they're not taking your concern seriously, oh, well, I'll show you how serious this is. And then you'll feel fucking stupid, right? And I mean, truthfully, whether or not somebody is pretending to be suicidal for attention, or if they're like actually expressing ideation in earnest, it doesn't matter if they're pretending or it's real. There's obviously something wrong, okay? There is something going on that should be addressed either way, right? Like, even if it is just for attention, it's like, okay, well, then there's something seriously wrong where you're pretending to try to kill yourself for attention. Obviously, there's something to look into here, right? And I think that it's actually really sad that everybody, like, flamed this guy for this when he knew, realistically, that his shit would be rocked for fucking ever if this got enough traction and people would like believe the lies. Thankfully, this Google document is complete dog shit, so nothing really came of it. Thank God. But like, you know what I mean? It's very cruel. It's very cruel. You know what I mean? It's very cruel.
Or a common part, not an uncommon part. I'll say that much. So this isn't necessarily suicide baiting. In fact, given the fact that this guy did actually end up in hospital for this like a month ago at the start of October, it's not actually the most unbelievable thing. He actually got fucking taken to hospital for it.
To be put in a padded fucking room. Because you don't need to kill yourself, dude, because of like, oh, boo-hoo, my wife is...
Well, the thing is that it's not necessarily narcissism, Space Frog. It's the idea. So something that is a common sentiment, especially in like LGBTQ communities. And if you ever talk to somebody who is trans or is gay or is queer, lesbian, bisexual, transgender guy, whatever, one of the reasons that a lot of people will default to that kind of ideation is because people don't believe them when they say it's who they are. So if somebody comes out as trans or whatever, and it's like, you're not even that fucking serious about it. I bet you just saw it on Twitter, and that's why. It's like, no, for real, like, this is who I am as a person. Like, this is really me. And it's like, no, fuck you, you're lying. You just want attention. That's ridiculous. And it's like, what do I have to do to prove to you that it's real? Nothing. I know that you're full of shit. I know that you're lying. It's like, oh, if I killed myself over this, would you take it seriously? That's like it's not a narcissism tendency. It's a desperation tendency. And obviously when people are genuinely expressing suicidal ideation, they are not acting or thinking or behaving rationally, right? That whatever it is that they're choosing to end their life over is almost never worth ending your life over, right? Almost never. So it's not even necessarily narcissism. It's a desperation, right? It's a desperation that I want people to care the way that I think they should care. I want people to notice the way that they should notice. Or even in the sense where if somebody does something really terrible to you and they find it to be funny, oh, well, it's not so fucking funny now, is it, Greg? Now that you've killed me. It's not necessarily a trait of narcissism. It's a trait of desperation, usually.
Terrible. I better go kill myself. Dude, I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation many times before. Trust me.
What do I have?
I don't know, like a life,
Dreams, aspirations.
Yeah, dude. Like you could.
I mean, hell, how do I know anyone's my friend? I thought those guys were my friends for months, and they've been lying to me. Oh, I have a good job. No, I work at Domino's. I fucking hate it. Successful YouTube channel? Nope, not doing well either. What do I have?
Oh my god.
Like, dude, like. You know, like every day I want to fucking kill myself, but I don't do it because I have people that give a shit, you know? Like, yes, I've had people who absolutely hate my fucking guts, but like, that's their fucking problem, not mine.
Yeah, but like, these people found out.
That's a good point, Samuel. I think he might still be delivering for Domino's, but at least the channel is doing well now. Maybe. The channel is popping off. The channel's doing quite well, yeah.
Myself, and then essentially told me to do it, you know? I mean, am I crazy? That's another thing. They're like...
The vibe that I get from this is somebody essentially with maybe no IRL friends. Being brutally honest, no IRL friends, only has connections online. And so it's teetering over this, like, weird position where he's talking to people online about his suicidal ideation when, like, I don't know, when you'd usually have a conversation with somebody in real life, or realistically, people who are actually suicidal probably don't talk to people about it an awful lot, and when they do, it's an uncomfortable thing, but they're kind of anhedonic, so maybe they talk about it in, like, weird ways, or, like, seem overly jovial about it, overly casual, maybe. So I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to make of this. How does this play into the... Tell me about the rape. Why am I watching this?
That's what I got from that.
Dude,
Get to the rape, dude. Come on.
I'm gonna be real as fuck. People...
Who's who? I've got no clue who actually recorded this. Literally no clue. The guy who's suicidal is Wolfgang.
You fucking therapist. Like...
Well, that's not what I was going to them for. I'm letting people know about this. So
You need... deadass, you need to seek help. Like...
What did he say there?
I'm letting people know about this. So
You need... deadass, you need to seek help.
So that people feel responsible.
I'm letting people know about this. So
You need...
Is that what he says there? I'm letting people know about this so that people feel responsible? Okay. I don't know if it's necessarily say this is like suicide baiting in the traditional way, that you don't feel suicidal at all, and you're pretending that you do to try and garner sympathy. This is probably somebody who's legitimately suicidal, probably has like genuine ideation, but is doing it in a really, really, really toxic way. A really, really, really toxic way. Right? Like, how much do I judge somebody for this? How much really? I genuinely don't know. I've never really known how hard to come down on something like this. If somebody is in the point where they're literally about to take their life, I don't think they necessarily think about the most like self-rational way. They probably think about anything that gives them like a little bit of joy, even if that comes at the expense of other people. However, I will say that's at the point of somebody in crisis. If some
Guys, I don't really watch Dicker's content. This is Kino. I like Dicker's. I like this guy. I like his shirt. Should I like this guy? Should I rescind that statement? Is there something that I need to know about? Do we like Dicker's? So far, I'm feeling the Dicker's content, you guys. I'm feeling it.
somebody habitually has suicidal ideation, it is ultimately your responsibility to be able to manage that, right? And find an appropriate way to be able to communicate that, talk about that. Now, what I do know is that Internet Jason did tag at everyone. Gonna try and get this video out by tomorrow. I've been in hospital all day, so I either grind it out or push back a day. And he includes a photo of him in a hospital bed, right? So there's like an oxygen monitor there. Are those psych ward socks?
No, you get those every time that you go to the hospital. They have to, if you are like admitted to the hospital, you have to wear the grippy socks. It's like, obviously on this, like, if you're in the psych ward, you can have shoes, right? Because you could throw them at people. It's a ligature risk to have shoelaces. So you have to, you know, the grippy sock vacation, because you can't have shoes. But even if you're admitted for like a surgery or something, or if you go to the ER because you don't feel good and you get admitted, you put on the grippy socks, because if you slip and fall, that's like a lawsuit, and they don't want that, right?
Are those psych ward? Okay, those are psych ward socks. The implication here is pretty fucking clear. And I'll say this is a very
No, you get grippy socks at the hospital in general.
inappropriate way to be able to handle this. This is Shelbo? No, he's got white hands. He's fine. But yeah.
No, you guys are liars. This is a fucking misinformation detected, you guys. This is a lie detected.
Liar!
You, like, if you're admitted to the hospital, you put on the grippy socks. Put on the grippy socks, okay? You wake up from surgery and you have them little socks on, okay? You're there because of a tummy ache, you got them little socks on, okay? Especially if you have to get into like a gown and shit. They want you to be in a gown and they want you to have on these little grippy socks because it's a liability.
Obviously, this is a pretty toxic way to handle it. You are trying to, like, sympathy bait, right? You are trying to bait sympathy. The issue is real. The issue is absolutely real. But is this really, like, an effective way or, like, a healthy way to be able to communicate? If you're suicidal, if you're in hospital, if you're going through a psychiatric, like, if you're going through a point of crisis, does your Discord server need to know? I think probably not. I think probably not. And it's probably...
Guys, I'm gonna, anytime that I am sick or I go to the doctor or anything, I'm gonna at all of you to let you guys know. Just because I just want you guys to, like, be in the know. I just want you guys to really know what's going on in my life at all times, okay? Yeah, dude, we're gonna do Malcolm grippy socks. Dude, that'd be fucking awesome. That'd be awesome. That's so funny.
Inappropriate way to be able to communicate about it. Okay. Anyway, I think that's probably about all gonna get out there. It's just gonna be otherwise, 14 minutes of this guy saying he's suicidal. If there's anything else in there, let me know. Otherwise, we're moving on. Okay. The problem is, okay, with this document, as with a lot of other Parlo documents, namely the Pyrite document, a lot of it is quite winding, a lot of it gives too much detail, and Parlo includes every single argument that he can think of that is largely irrelevant, okay? But anyway, we'll go into it. Also, FYI, another thing that's going to cut against a lot of the things, so I'm going to say this again and again and again, okay? One of the things that's going to cut against a lot of what Parlo contains in this document is you knew about this before he flew out to the UK. You knew about a lot of this before you even paid him to be able to fly out to the UK, before you sent him the money to pay for his flights. So, what's this got to do?
I'm gonna post, like, really depressing selfies of myself, and then I'm gonna put, like, a shitty caption over it, and it's gonna be like, what are, like, some of, like, the lamest quotes ever? Everyone's gonna hurt you. I just hope that I can find the one worth suffering for. And then you guys are gonna be like, Malcolm, are you okay? And I'm gonna say, I don't want to talk about it. And we're just gonna do that back and forth forever. Okay, guys? Sound good?
Do exactly with you kind of breaking up your kind of, like, sexual relationship after the fact? It doesn't, really. It doesn't. It's kind of irrelevant. Maybe he's trying to paint him as, like, a generally bad guy, or try and think of all of the criticism you can give him. I mean, fair play. I've just given my take on it. I think it's massively inappropriate. But at the same time, yeah. Okay, let's get into it. So, recently, he's appeared to have exercised examples of emotional manipulation and coerced me into giving him sexual favors. I don't agree with the coercion. I don't agree with the coercion. You can say emotional manipulation.
Here's some good ones, you guys. The darkness of the world is nothing compared to the darkness in my heart. But it's actually just that the Sprite that I got at McDonald's was flat. And that's why I'm upset. Or I'll say, like, I'm not okay, but I will be. And it's because I don't have any more sparkling waters. It's not what you said that hurt me. It's what you didn't say. Tears are words from the heart that can't be spoken. Sometimes it's better to be on your own. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm gonna blow your guys' shit up in Discord with these. This is so funny. I need to get, like, a bot that individually DMs every single member of my server. So you guys are gonna get DMs where it's like, he's okay. She's broken. You guys are fucked.
To give you sympathy, sure. Into giving you sexual favors, there's no evidence of that. But maybe, okay? Maybe we'll see along the way. Hold on, just a pin in that. So he can be seen continuously pestering me and instigating sexual-based topics of conversation to get me sexually engaged with him, despite red flags showing that I was not reciprocating. Okay. Here's the thing. You can call it continually pestering you and instigating sexual-based topics of conversation. You agreed that he was going to be up in your guts, having anal sex with you ahead of this trip. You agreed.
Up in your guts, bro. That is vulgar. That's terrible. Why would you say that? 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 Why would he say that, you guys? Why would he say that? That's terrible. Up in your guts, bro. What? Why? Why would you say that, dude?
That you went back and forth with him sexually. Did he shoot
Dickers is totally gay, dude. Only a gay person would say that.
shot sometimes and you were interested? Sure. You had an ongoing sexual affair, right? You had an ongoing sexual tryst. Yeah. Okay. So, I felt obligated to have sex with Wolfgang, and I didn't feel as though I had the ability to say no. While I seemingly did oblige, I was physically uncomfortable. I physically froze during numerous instances, and my body language showed that I was not enjoying it whatsoever, as I was close to throwing up during certain intervals. Okay? I think I've heard that. I've heard that. Cinderella, Tyrone, you already fucking know about this. Okay. No spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers. So,
I'm gonna spoil because this gave me psychic damage. The name of the dildo was the Cinderella. I was like, why? Because it fits. Like, dude, I hate gay people so much. Oh my god.
Felt obliged to have sex with Wolfgang. You can talk about him being emotionally manipulative to get sympathy. When I spoke to Parlo on call, that was not the reason he gave me. Why he felt as though he couldn't say no. Now, to be fair to Parlo, okay, and Internet Adjacent, I'm pretty sure these documents have been written, like, in a matter of days. A matter of days. I mean, Parlo's document, I think, was only finalized when I was on call with him earlier today. So if it's not the most well thought out, okay, we'll give that a little bit of grace, okay? But yeah, that is misleading. Anyway. So, in reality, I only engaged because I was scared of the repercussions if I did not engage, since he was rather demanding during certain instances, and I was anxious as to not upset him. Yeah? I'd even told Wolfgang that I had difficulty stating no to people. Apparently, that was IRL. Actually, I do want Internet Adjacent on the stream. I've told him he's got the ability to call in, because I never heard that detail from him. Ever. Parlo was claiming that's a conversation that's happened IRL. We'll see what he says. Put a pin in that as well. So, I paid for his plane ticket, which was over $1,167, and felt compelled to engage to satisfy him, as he was constantly asking for sexual favors. Sexual favors, you'd already agreed. You'd already agreed to have sex. But sure, that's fine. Obviously, you can say no at any time. Is he pestering? We'll get and talk about that later. Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
What intact details? I PayPal'd you with. Okay. Oh, what?
Also, I showed you guys that guy's YouTube channel, right? He had 600K subs. He fucking nuked his channel, but 600,000 subs, and this guy's like shaking a cup under a bridge. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, with my fucking 6 figures a month. Wow. Okay, yeah, sure.
Is that a first name leak? Is that a okay, okay, right. Great stuff. Wait, dude, is that a dog? Is that a dog? Is that a dog? Is that a dog?
For your boots.
No.
Nice shirt, Dickers. All dressed up for the big RR.
That's right, Soul Skibbity. Thank you for the £2. Oh my god, poor pooch. Okay. Jesus Christ. Why is Dickers sweeping for IA? It's so over. Listen, okay? I'm going to disagree with Parlo's document where I disagree with it. Call Animal CPS. Call Animal Control. For Wolfgang. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Parlo's document.
True. Wolfgang's biggest crime is that he's a furry. I agree.
I do, okay? However, I come down on both sides, believe me. That's not a leak. That's not spoilers. I have done in both calls. So, there we are. Everyone knows my position on this already. There we go. Okay. As of recently, Wolfgang has been requesting me to have also paid for the Airbnb that only he used and found, despite him not only having a job at Domino's, but
also that's literally a lie because there's a third person whose name is like Zillow or something. I don't know. And that person also stayed in the Airbnb as well. So that's a fucking lie. And then also this Wolfgang Internet Adjacent has like 13K subs on YouTube. Just now started to get popular. And he's a fucking delivery driver for Domino's. And this fucking asshole, Parlo, is fucking rolling in the deep with all of this fuck you money that he's making on YouTube. He's probably never even had a real fucking job before. And he's like, oh my god, he asked me to pay for a plane ticket? Oh, okay.
also being paid a significant amount on YouTube the past month. Requesting. There seems to be a disagreement on this, okay? Because in Wolfgang's document, he intimates that Parlo was agreed to pay for the Airbnb. He's agreed to pay for the Airbnb. And it wasn't only Wolfgang that used it. It was also this other party who, so far as...
Oh, that's what I just said. Where's this other document? Hang on. Let me get the other one really quick. Because we can just kind of do a little comparison-y, guys. A little comparison-y. He sent me $1,000. So he sent him the money. He has to purchase a new gaming laptop. So you can see that he sent him this money. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm crashing out. Let's let Dickers continue to cook, my bad.
Where isn't being named, so yeah, we'll leave it at that. Yo, thank you, Space Station, for the gifted membership. Okay. Let's get into it then.
Let's get into it.
So that's a point of contention, but I don't even know if I really care that much about it. All right. Okay. So Wolfgang also admits the fact that he, on his own volition, offered to pay the expenses for the Airbnb while I bought the plane ticket. At Avalon, at Parlo. I guess. Okay, so we know who. We already know who. Right, it was Avalon. There we are. At Avalon, at Parlo. New problem. How would me and Zillow even go halvesies on the place?
Okay,
y'all want to call in here later? I'll go later and grab my paycheck. Okay, so, So we talked about going halvesies on the place between him and Zillow, aka Avalon. But then he never got reimbursed for it ever? Okay, I don't know where the claim is. Okay, I'll book the Airbnb when you pay me, when you PayPal me the rest. I'll book the Airbnb when you PayPal me the rest, right? Parlo says, chilling in bed. I'm a little confused on what to do. Like with the Airbnb, since I can't stay over. Wolfgang says, I'll pay for it, and you can come and visit.
A girl near where Dicker's lives was recently accosted by a balding man who, quote, was wearing a shirt that looked like a queer zebra.
Thank you,
A
Ubi
queer
Slaughter for the 5.
zebra.
Listen, if she wants to drop the doc, she can. I'm not going to drop anything
That's
before,
terrible.
okay? Because that is a completely retarded thing to do. But anyway, let's
I
go.
disavow this
Let's go.
language.
I'll pay for it and you can come visit. It seems like there's conflict here. It seems like there's conflict, but it does seem to be that Wolfgang never expected Parlo to pay for it. He speaks about going halvesies with Zillow, and then he speaks about paying it and he can come visit. Right. So under no circumstances did I ever state that I was going to pay for the Airbnb and plane ticket, especially when he said he would book it and pay for it on his own volition as late as the 7th of October 2025, when he was the only person using it. The plane ticket was considerably expensive, and the Airbnb would only been purchased by me, as discussed on October 2nd, if it was $80 for the plane ticket. Is this really going to be... Okay. Is this really going to be, like, one long fucking... This is so fucking gay, dude. This is so fucking gay. I don't know, genuinely, why Wolfgang thought this would be a good idea to put out his response first. But in any case, it seems like Parlo's document is a response to this. Yeah, fuck it. We're swapping over. All right, we're going through Wolfgang's document first. Okay, nice.
Yeah, dude, this shit is actually fucking crazy. The way that the way that Parlo made this document is like the biggest fucking snake shit. Oh, yeah. The first thing Parlo said wasn't anything about emotions or anything like that. It was, quote, "You know I never said I'd pay you back for the Airbnb." Then when I pushed him on, his response was, quote, "You have to consider my financial situation," which, like I said earlier, if he's so poor to the point that he has to make a GoFundMe for food and pills, then why spend $1K on a plane ticket and a vacation? Math is not mathing. Correct. This is worse than a bonk document. This guy, I'm not even kidding, this Parlo dude is the male version of Emu Emmy. I'm not even kidding. They're literally the same.
Is this Wolfgang from Gay Stalk Stream back in the day? No, that's Wolfgang. That's Wolfgang. That's a different guy. Okay. Let's change tracks. All right. Fit. Hello, everyone. This is really not something I ever wanted to go public, but due to unfortunate circumstances, it appeared as though it has. If you're seeing this Google Doc, then I'm making it fully aware. Then I am making it fully aware of the drama that has been going on with me and a fellow YouTuber Parlo behind the scenes. This isn't something I'm happy about going public, but obviously it was inevitable at some point, and I don't appreciate how this entire situation has played out. As most people know, I was really good friends with a fellow content creator, Parlo. In the public eye, I was a YouTube accomplice who, while critical of his past actions, had always maintained a stance that since I hadn't been around for his past, and felt that I was unfair to judge him for. Maintained a stance that since I hadn't been around for his past, that I felt I was unfair to judge him for. Right, okay, great stuff. The reality of the situation is that me and him were pretty much better than just friends behind the scenes. We were close friends, closer than friends. Despite us being so close, I at no point allowed my relationship with him to cloud my judgment. These are examples, even in DMs of me expressing my frustrations with how he acted. Right, so just FYI, a little peek behind the curtain. I'm pretty sure that at some point somebody has intimated to Wolfgang that the fact that they had a sexual relationship is going to call into question his prestige, his reputation, his careful, considered judgment as a commentator. And so that's why he's including it here. Okay. You're always going to have that allegation thrown against you. I don't know why the fuck you would make that allegation towards yourself. You saying it's not true is not going to help anything. It's not going to help anything. Okay. Fucking hell. By the way, guys, have you considered maybe my judgment was compromised on Parlo? It's not true, but just FYI, I bring that up to say that it's totally baseless. Anyway. So the main point is, I always had people tell me that he never listened to people, and he was kind of a spurge. But it was never behaviour that I myself had seen. And when the pyro thing had happened, and people seemed to be, at the very least, willing to tolerate him again, it wasn't until after I had cut contact with him that I was aware of some of the other stuff he did, like post nudes on r/fanboy and shit like that. Wait,
this is also probably a good time to bring up a little bit of interesting tidbits here. Dickers is doing like a pretty shitty job of doing this in the order that I want. Because he's doing his document right now, Internet Adjacent's document. So let's do this really quick. So I'm really mad that he didn't read this whole document because now I have to fucking do it. Rah! He's having these allegations, essentially. He's saying that he hooked up with Internet Adjacent and that he was, coerced and blah, 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 blah. In this document, we see here the money or whatever. New problem. How would me and Zillow even go halfsies on this place? You want to call me later? I got to go out and grab my paycheck. So we saw this part. So they're talking about the Airbnb. In this document specifically, he states that Parlo said, you have to consider, or excuse me, you know that I never said that I'd pay you back for the Airbnb. So he contests this claim, and there's no evidence either way. What he'll do is he posts these screenshots and then he loads them really heavily. So this is the suicide baiting one, and I would disagree that you would consider this suicide baiting. But so you can see this one. This one's crazy. So Wolfgang, or Parlo says, okay. Wolfgang says, we'll walk around a bit, head back around 6:30, and then we'll get ready to leave at 7:38. And Parlo says, okay. And then Wolfgang says, do you want a drink? And then Parlo says, not really if I'm doing something tomorrow. Where are you right now? I'm at Waterloo. And then Wolfgang says, we haven't left yet. And Parlo says, should I come down then? And so this is the loading of this screenshot. Wolfgang is offering me if I want to have alcohol, with me being dissuaded from taking it, making the excuse that if we were to do anything tomorrow, alcohol would complicate the situation. Somebody saying, hey, are you going to drink tonight, is somehow being arm twisted and coerced into drinking alcohol, which is super insane. This is probably like the only one that I would say is like maybe not good, where Parlo says, yes, can meet at 2. Wolfgang says, sweet, want to cuddle for a bit. I want to blow you in the femboy outfit. And then Parlo just doesn't respond. And so Parlo is going to go through this, and he is going to load this as he was coerced into having sex with Wolfgang. That Wolfgang continually asked about it and, wouldn't take no for an answer, blah, 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 blah. But here's an example of what I'm talking about specifically here. So Wolfgang says, what do you want to do with Zilla, by the way? I don't want to have sex with him in the other room. And Parlo says, I know, we can do it another time. So what I said the other day was, if I said, hey, do you want to fuck? And somebody says, not right now, maybe later. That is a direct implication that they do want to fuck, right? So we're loading this as like, oh my God, he's trying to coerce me. He's literally just saying, I'd rather do it tonight, but whatever you want to do. That's not coercion. That's just stating a preference for the situation. And then so this is the one right here. Do you want me to change and we can do stuff? Zillow's done to head out for a bit. And then Parlo says, I want to chill for now on Minecraft. And Wolfgang says, all right. And then so it says Wolfgang is seen once again instigating the topic of conversation about having sex after he changes clothes. I am seen in the reply shutting down his proposition and stating that I just want to, quote, chill on Minecraft. I use this as an excuse. In reality, I did not want to have sex. So when we come in here, he posts actually all of the fucking screenshot that's cropped. So you can see here that this is cropped here and here, right? This is where it's cropped. You up? I was going to grab the cord to your Xbox. Parlo says, yeah, sorry, I was recording. Internet Adjacent says, do you want me to blow you before or after the club? Parlo says, before. Internet Adjacent says, all right, just let me know and I can go and change. And then Internet Adjacent says, do you want me to change and then we can go and do stuff? Blank down to head out for a little bit. So the third person that's at the Airbnb is going to head out for a little bit. And then Parlo says, I want to chill on Minecraft. So he cut it right here. He cut it right here to make it look like he was like fucking begging him to fuck. Oh, you want to fuck so bad? He literally says, I want you to suck my dick before we go out. And he's pretending like he had like a loaded gun to his fucking head. So that's part of that. That's pretty much the whole spirit of this Google document. Okay. So this one right here, when do you want to do it? Before food? How long do you want to do it? As long as I can last. If we should do it before 12 because that's when Domino's closes. Okay. Give me a bit. I'm hungry and I need to eat. Shower gel, shower sex. I'll call when I get to Paddington. I'm on the train right now. And so this is framed as, I was asking how long it would be because I wanted it to be quick. And Wolfgang was seen to attempt to rush the situation before 12 so we could get pizza after, what put stress on me for doing it. Me still attempting to procrastinate. It was clear that I was hungry and that I dodged and disengaged from shower sex. Where was this screenshot? Because this one's crazy. As long as we can last, I guess. If we are, we should before 12 because that's when Domino's closes. Okay, give me a bit. What do you want to do about Zilla, by the way? I don't want to have sex with him in the other room. I know, we can do it another time if you want. So he's been chopping them up and out of order. He's been chopping them up and out of order. This one's really good as well. So this is the whole thing here. So Parlo starts off this engagement by saying, and I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the start of this conversation, okay? Because this is at 10:47. Okay, these ones are earlier in the day, and then these ones are that night. Okay. Oh no, they're backwards. I'm stupid. Never mind. These are later in the evening. Have y'all made it? Calls. Parlo says, I'm going to make you blow as quick as humanly possible. You have no idea. And he sends instructions to get to where he is. Do you want to do it shortly after I get there or right when I arrive? Parlo says, I'm hungry. I need to eat. Shower gel. Internet Jason says, shower sex? I'll call when I get to Paddington. I'm on the train. Sex tonight or no? And Parlo says, yeah. Internet Adjacent says, okay. Parlo says, but I can't eat until then. I'm starving and getting hungry. And Internet Adjacent says, we'll do it and then go out and grab dinner. I haven't eaten in 32 hours. Do you still want to meet at the station? Yeah. How long do you think you have left? So he dishonestly clipped this to make it look like he was like, oh my God, he hasn't eaten in fucking 34 years, you guys. He hasn't eaten in 34 years. And this guy, all he can think about is fuck, is he's starving to death. Like, okay, sure. Sure. Yeah, and they're completely out of order. They're all chopped up. They're all fucked up. They're all fucking stupid, okay? So, and then he's framing this as well, where it's like, I can ask the third person to leave for a little bit, or, you know, it's up to you. I'd rather do it tonight, but we can do it another time. He's framing this is feeling pressured and obligated, that this is coercion, to say, we don't have to do it right now. I'd prefer to do it right now, but we can do it later. Ridiculous. And then, so Wolfgang was extremely keen on doing anal, being extremely conflicted with a proposition. Wolfgang opened up one of the condoms out of the packet, hastily attempting to take control of the situation, despite me in numerous intervals being extremely hesitant to do so. And then this fucking boob takes a picture of the condom. He's like photographing the crime scene. Like, I am convinced that this guy had it in his head that he was going to accuse this guy of rape the second that he met him. That's my opinion. Okay. And then, so they're obviously talking about topping and bottoming. Bottoming is when you take the wiener, and topping is when you give the wiener, for the people that are not gay or whatever in chat. So down here, we talk specifically about what actually happened, because he's just demonstrated that he's lying and chopping shit out of context the entire Google document. We did sexual stuff again. He complimented my appearance and far more about me after we were done. We sat all in bed. No, he actually tried to talk about him constantly checking on his own Kiwi Farms thread, and the R YouTube drama subreddit is justified, which is just something I told him constantly just ignore. But in retrospect, the fact that he tried saying all of this after we just had sex is a little cow shit. Oh, it's right here. Me and Parlo had sex, and while it's definitely probably an overshare, it becomes relevant when you hear what he tried to accuse me of later. Before we had sex, he said he wasn't sure if he was in the mood to do full penetrative stuff, just mouth stuff, which I was fine with. After we did stuff for a while, I did pose the question if he wanted to go all the way, since we already had a condom. He at first said that he was down, so I took the condom out, and that was when he said that he was actually too tired to do anything like that tonight. I told him that was fine, and I put the condom on the shelf, and that's where it stayed for the entire trip. The next day, after the group tried meeting up with us, while doing that, I messaged him about what we did. I hope that you had fun last night. I did. Where can I meet you? Whatever. The way that Parlo tried to frame that, I ripped the condom out and told him that we should go further, saying that he felt peer pressured, and it's just a lie. I didn't rip open the condom in an attempt to pressure him for sex. I asked if he wanted to, and he said no. The reason why this is important, because according to the anonymous third party who was at the Airbnb apparently recounting the story, Parlo showed up parts of his DMs, and later, despite him saying he wasn't down for sex, that I still pursued him sexually. Below is what I told Parlo, sending around to, what I was told Parlo was sending around to other people recounting the story. According to the third neutral party or whatever, I pressured him sexually. The third day is the one where he tries to claim all types of shit. On the third day, we agreed that we would be doing some type of sex thing. We had plans that night to go out clubbing and drinking. We agreed that we would leave sometime around 6 to go to London. Because of this, I asked Parlo when he would want to have sex, and this is the conversation that followed. So this is about them eating, right? And the dick sucking. The reason why this is relevant is because he tried to say that I peer pressured him. I was walking in and out of the bedroom, trying to allure him. This guy went to the United Kingdom, and he didn't know that they had different outlets. So the only outlet that like worked for him was the one that was in the bedroom. So he had to go in and out of the bedroom to like use the phone charger, because British people are stupid. We did sexual stuff again, in which he complimented blah, 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 blah. By the time we were done, we only had an hour before we had to leave to go to the club. Obviously, we needed to take a shower. So we did. When I came out of the shower, third party had already left, and he texted me saying that he had already gone to the train station. Because of how he worded it, I both thought because of how he worded it, we both thought that he was mad at us. He started breaking down and crying at the thought of our friend being upset at us. When I tried to hug him, he told me to fuck off and blame me for everything that was wrong. I simply went quiet and walked to the bedroom and laid in the bed. Yeah. So this guy's just a fucking liar. So this is the spirit of the engagement, of course. This is the spirit of the engagement. And then Parlo even puts in here that he's like, I do want my dick sucked, or whatever. So he quite literally met up with this guy to have sex with him. Quite literally met up with him to have sex with him. Engaged willingly and reciprocated sex acts with this guy. And then after the fact is chopping all this shit up to say that he's a rapist. Like, this guy is genuinely unfucking well. This guy is unfucking well. And like I said, if it's any consolation, there's a lot of weird shit about Parlo that we'll definitely get into. Parlo is a freak in his own right. Parlo ran what was essentially a Catboy Ranch Discord server, but worse, if you can imagine that, if you know what the Catboy Ranch Discord server is. And Parlo also was very good friends with Natty Forsyth. And if you know who Natty Forsyth is, you know why that's a huge fucking problem. Natty Forsyth was also one of his close friends that moderated the Catboy Ranch-esque Discord server, where people as young as 15 years old were encouraged to engage sexually in the Discord server with Natty fucking Forsyth. Oh, okay. This guy is a fucking creep. And also the claims at the beginning of this of him suicide baiting and shit like that. Parlo has actually sent pictures of himself slashing his own wrists to 13-year-olds before. That's suicide baiting. Sending a picture of your foot in a hospital bed is not suicide baiting. Sending pictures of you cutting yourself to children is suicide baiting. Actually, incredible. So fuck this Parlo guy. I understand that I kind of came in preloaded in the reading of this. It's because I read the document last night, so I know that this guy's a fucking liar. This guy is Emu Emmys and Keppel's hybrid from hell.
Wolfgang not know about, fuck, what is it called? Is it Femtopia?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Femtopia? Is that the one? Anyway.
That's the name of the Discord
There's a lot
server.
of lore there. Okay, we're not gonna have time to get to all that. Fuck me, dude. Okay.
Yeah, Femtopia was the name of the Discord server. The Discord server, people as young as 15 years old were in there. They were talking about graphic sex acts. They were taking sex affinity quizzes, and people were encouraged to post lewds and nudes, which were posted in the server. And some of the users were as young as 15 years old. And Parlo at the time was 18 or 19. Like in between, like that was the time frame that the Discord server was there. And to my understanding, one of the counter arguments against this is the fact that Parlo was quote unquote not active in that server. So who cares, right? It wasn't even Parlo. He wasn't even active in there. One, I don't believe that. Two, I don't care. And thirdly, Parlo also solicited somebody who he believed to be 16 years old when he was 19 to meet up in real life, to have sex with, and to date. And then actually, the worst part about that is the person wasn't even 16 years old. The person was actually 13 years old. So Parlo is a freak in his own fucking right. Okay, so fuck this guy, unironically.
Christ. But yes, me and Parlo had some type of closer than friends relationship. Looking back, it was incredibly stupid of me to entertain this guy as anything more than a schizo, and I see that now. I want to apologize to anyone who tried to warn me of who this guy was. I deserve all the shit I get for putting my trust in him, but I've alluded. You made this public. What do you mean, put my trust in him? Has your trust been betrayed here? Okay. I want to apologize to anybody who tried to warn me who this guy was. I deserve all the shit that I get for putting my trust in him, but I've alluded to it and made it clear that me and Parlo are no longer friends. I'd like to delve into that further by explaining exactly what happened between me and Parlo that caused us to go from...
Well, and the reason that I would say is because people have been aware of Parlo's behavior for like 2 years. And so I could understand why people are like, hey, just so you know, that guy's like a total fucking freak. Like, that makes complete sense to me. So yeah, I mean, he probably believed Parlo and Parlo's justifications and rationalizations for the things that he was accused of. Yeah.
Really close to full-on ops. Okay, nice. We need Fembro for this femboy furry drama. Kill the blood spiller. Kill the blood spiller. You have perms to join if you'd like. Okay. So, we planned out a trip to see each other on October the 11th to the 15th. Me, him, and an anonymous third party would also be staying at an Airbnb for a few days. Internet Adjacent says, pretty boy. Oh, pretty boy. Just landed in New York. In 2 hours, I start flying to London. Parlo says, what time do you get here? Because if I don't get the last...
I totally forgot that I have this Roblox sign, or this Roblox audio clip. I totally fucking forgot, you guys. How... Dude, it's fate! That's them when they're fucking. Yeah, harder! Sorry.
Train back by 12, I'll have to pay $100 for an Uber. £100. Internet Adjacent says, I have no idea. I'll leave 8:50, 8:45 New York time, and it saes I arrive at 8:45 local time, and then I have to ride the tube to get there. Okay?
The tube, I hate
guess
British people.
just proof that they did in fact meet up, okay? Dude, okay. Before we actually get into that, something important I want to talk about is a GoFundMe that Parlo made just weeks before we had this trip. Parlo. 2.2k goal, 560 quid raised. Parlo, YouTube. Organizer, England. Created September the 28th, 2025. For rent, food, and monthly bills. Please help. Please help. Okay, this is not great. Okay, dude, what is Parlo doing? So I was not even aware that such a GoFundMe had even existed. But you can imagine my surprise when I find out that only a week after we created a GoFundMe, literally begging to help pay for food and bills. Well, okay. Is that what... Okay, to be clear, that just seems like a common category to put it in. But yeah, it is dishonest if that's not what he's going to use it for. Dude.
And also, again, this guy has 600,000 subscribers on YouTube. He also posted this. I think this was today, actually. Yeah, this is from today. At everyone, my dad has control of my finances currently and is not putting any money in my account. I will be providing full screenshot proof of the money that was used for the GoFundMe was used on rent and food, and I did not scam anyone. I'm, however, going to appeal those who donated to my GoFundMe if they want me to donate the money back to them, despite the horrific financial position that I'm in right now. If you all want to know how I can refund people on GoFundMe, then please let me know. TLDR, I will give the money back despite me not having scammed anyone because I wanted the situation to be dealt with privately with the affected parties, and I want to take a break. Okay, well then you should have just like kept your fucking mouth shut, I guess. And it sounds like your dad, it's a good thing that your dad is controlling your finances. That's actually, it sounds like a pretty good thing if you ask me. If we have a 600,000 subscriber YouTube channel, how much money do you think that we're making a year? And he's like, I'm literally eating fucking beans out of a can. You guys, I'm literally going to be fucking homeless. I'm going to have to live in the street. Oh my God, you guys, please donate to me. Like, literally fuck off. Are you kidding me? It's oh my God, it's Innuendo Studios all over again.
Parlo is literally going live on GoFundMe. Please help, rent, food, and monthly bills, and then flying out American bussy with the fucking cash. Okay, so I was not even aware that such a GoFundMe even existed. You can imagine my surprise. Okay, I find out only a week after he created a GoFundMe, literally begging for help pay with food and bills, that he sent me $1 grand in order to pay for my plane ticket to London. It could be legal fees, yeah, but then why would you be fucking raising money if you actually could afford it anyway, right? If I need $500 for like bills, you can bet that I don't have a fucking grand laying about to fly out some young hot piece of ass from America. Anyway, so this is besides the fact that he also purchased a brand new gaming laptop, which was at least $1,000.
Yeah, isn't he older than Internet Adjacent as well? No, Internet Adjacent is 21 and Parlo's 20, I think. But Internet Adjacent, you guys, we always talk about this, so let's talk about this more. We don't talk about it enough, truthfully. Internet Adjacent has like 15K subs on YouTube. This Parlo dude has 500,000, more than 500,000. Hello? What about the power imbalance here? What about the power imbalance here, guys?
Dollars. If you're in a position where you need to make a GoFundMe, then maybe you shouldn't be paying for trips like this. This is completely irrelevant to the allegation. This is unfortunately just like poisoning the well. This is just poisoning the well. Holy fuck. Yeah, you shouldn't be paying for trips like this. And the other thing I paid for, as I was told the entire trip would be paid for, is the Airbnb, which becomes relevant later. But yes, I arrived in London on the 11th, where I found my way to the Airbnb, and one of the first things me and Parlo did together was have sex. Woohoo! Hell yeah! Okay.
Hell yeah, gay sex, guys. Hell yeah, guys, gay sex.
Internet Adjacent. Have y'all made it? Parlo, at Internet Adjacent. Internet Adjacent starts a call that lasted 11 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna make you blow as quick as humanly possible. You have no idea. Whew. Okay. Interesting. Internet Adjacent. Do you want to do it shortly after I get there, or right when I arrive? Parlo says, I'm hungry, and I need to eat. Shower gel. Okay? Shower sex? Question mark. I'll call you when I get to Paddington. I'm on the train right now. Started a call that lasted 2 minutes. Sex tonight or no? Parlo. Yeah. Internet Adjacent. Okay. Parlo, but I can't eat until then. And I'm starving and hungry as fuck. Okay. Now, the greatest queer minds of the commentary community, myself and Aiden Underground, have come together to be able to dissect exactly what's going on here. Aiden is of the opinion, okay, that it's over blowing, right? He doesn't want to eat before he gives a blowy, because then he's worried that it'll, like, throw up, have a gag reflex. Personally, I thought that it was about anal, right? If you don't eat anything, there's kind of nothing to create a mess, right? That's the idea. But, in any case, Parlo apparently hasn't eaten in 32 hours and is starving himself so that Domino's boy can get up in them guts.
What'd you say
Hello?
about me?
What are you talking about? That you said you thought that it was over blowies.
Where?
Last night.
Where?
In the open live, not in ICBC.
Do you have record of this?
No, I didn't record that call.
So you're just making unsubstantiated allegations.
No, it's not unsubstantiated. I gave eyewitness testimony to it, Aiden.
eyewitness testimony. Well,
Okay,
I
so
must say,
did you have any interpretation of what this meant then?
what meant?
The fact that he was holding off and not eating.
Who wasn't eating?
Parlo, before they had sex.
I'd have to look into it.
We looked in. We were looking at the. No, we weren't. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about.
We didn't look
I'm
at any
seeing
of this last.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
think
okay.
it must have been a dream. It must have been a dream. Yep, I'm very, very sorry. Yeah, you're
I
very, very
forgive you.
right. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I love you. Aiden and I never had a conversation about this at any point. I only saw this document when it released today. Yeah? Oh my god, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Fuck it. Okay, let's go. What did I say earlier about the blinding light of truth? Exposing reality in the darkness of lies, okay? Never mind. Okay, so Aiden has also never read this document. Okay. I spoke to Parlo about this earlier, though. Basically, yeah, I was right. And the anonymous party who I was potentially speaking about this, hypothetical, we imagined, okay, if he isn't eating, what would that mean? Yeah, Parlo said earlier, it was specifically, and they had spoken about it, it was with the intention to do anal, right? It wasn't anything to do with oral. It was to keep the pipes clean and unclogged, so to speak. Anyway. Okay. So Parlo says, but I can't eat until then, and I'm starving and hungry as fuck. Internet Adjacent says, we'll do it, and then go out and grab dinner. Parlo says, I haven't eaten in 32 hours. Lads, find yourself a boy who'll starve himself for 32 hours to make sure his pipes are clean for you. Oh my god, why is this public? Why is this public? I guess it's relevant. Okay. So, beforehand, okay, Parlo is super fucking up for it. Super fucking enthused. I'm hungry, and I need to eat. I'm gonna make you blow as quick as humanly possible. Okay. So, Internet Adjacent says, do you guys still want to meet at the station? Parlo says, yeah. How long do you think you have left? Right. So, Parlo says, I haven't eaten 33 hours. What's around for food? Have you checked on maps? Not that long. Parlo says, I haven't seen. Why don't we just order stuff? IA says, I'm almost here. Parlo says, on Deliveroo. Internet Adjacent like pizza? The next stop is Willinston. I'm here. Okay. I'm guessing that's Williston Junction. All right.
Clearly, Aiden was not watching the stream at all. But also, I mean, that's totally true. He could be starving himself for butt stuff. That's totally true. I didn't even consider that. I didn't even consider that he could be purging his guts. I didn't even... Ooh.
There he is, in London. God, what a gorgeous skyline. England is my city. Okay, so where is that? They're in northwest London. All right, lovely stuff. That's just exactly where the fucking Airbnb was. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, I guess realistically, nothing is being leaked here. Nothing is being leaked here. I know the Williston area. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I do as well. So, Internet Adjacent says, when do you want to do it? Parlo says, before food. How long do you want to do it for? Internet Adjacent says, as long as we can. As long as we can last, I guess. If we are, we should do it before 12. That's when Domino's closes. Parlo says, okay, give me a bit. And then he links the thing that he sent previously. Okay, great. Internet Adjacent says, what do you want to do about the anonymous third party, by the way? I don't want to have sex with him in the other room. Parlo says, I know, we can do it another time if you want. We can do it on the 4th/3rd day, maybe. Right, so they said about having sex today, that's throwing a spanner in the works. Right.
Wow, that's so brave.
Okay. Internet Adjacent says, it's up to you. I'd rather tonight, though. I can ask him to dip for a bit, and then we don't see the rest of that conversation. Okay. So, he says, me and Parlo, okay. Me and Parlo had sex. And while this is definitely probably an overshare, it becomes relevant when you hear what he tried to accuse me of later. Before we even had sex, he said he wasn't sure if he was in the mood to do full penetrative sex. Just mouth stuff, which is what I was fine with. Okay. After we did stuff for a while, I did pose the question if he wanted to go all the way, since we already had a condom. He at first said he was down, so I took the condom out. That was what he said, that he actually was... That's when he said he was actually too tired to do anything like that tonight. I told him that was fine. He put the condom on the shelf, and that's where it was the entire trip. Okay, so when he says about taking the condom out, right, initially, I thought that this was talking about taking it out of a bag. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've got a condom, FYI. Okay, I'll put it on the side. No, that's not what happened, actually. That's absolutely not what happened. If you take a look, at the images that are these in his document, fuck it, if he sent it to me, it's probably public.
Okay, I'm jumping forward to when Internet Adjacent comes on, because we get the gist, okay? We get the gist. Parlo be lying. That is the gist of this entire thing. We've seen here that Parlo was, in fact, DTF. Parlo engaged in the effing. Parlo stated many times that he was DTF. The way that this reads to me is that the third person Zillow, like, was mad or something, or wasn't even really mad, but Parlo assumed that the Zillow person was mad and then, like, flipped back to blame it on Wolfgang. That's the way that it reads to me. Like, he's just a liar. He's just lying. He be lying, is my general takeaway from this. And, yeah, like, all of this could be resolved if people just had, like, you know, the ability to just be like, no, I don't want to. But it sounds like he did want to, and then after the fact, he was like, oh, this was embarrassing or whatever, and I didn't want to do it. The only thing that is, like, somewhat relevant is they go back and forth a lot about wanting to talk privately about kind of squashing this. Parlo's manager, and Parlo had a manager, so you know this bitch was making money. Parlo's manager actually asked Wolfgang to sign an NDA, which is insane, regarding the entire thing. And so, essentially, Himpleton told Wolfgang that Parlo was going to drop his document. So Wolfgang dropped his document to get out in front of the allegations. And then, in turn, Parlo released his. And since then, you know, it's just been kind of a little bit of a shit show. But so Internet Adjacent comes on to talk to Dickers. And then later, Parlo comes on to talk to Dickers. And so that's what we're going to jump to really quick. And then if we need to reference this for anything, we can. I am comfortable saying that Parlo is a liar. I am comfortable saying that Parlo literally just fucking made this up. I'm very comfortable saying that. So let's see what Internet Adjacent has to say. Let's jump to oh, and Himpleton joins the call later too. Oh god. Oh fuck. Okay.
Who's joined? How's it going?
What's good, man?
What's good? Okay.
I've heard a lot of interesting play.
Yeah, you've joined. Was there anything that I said that you wanted to comment on? Would you want to?
I haven't been watching, but what's been your take so far? I guess.
I think it seems, and tell me if you agree with this. There's a pretty clear difference to when Parlo's talking to you previously in DMs and kind of energy that he had IRL, right?
Yeah, but I just figured he was like awkward like that. I just assumed he was like, you know, like because I mean that's how I kind of am in DMs too. Like I talk a lot, and then in real life I just kind of am quiet, you know.
I get that. If people are like doing ERP and stuff like that and giving like sexual fancies,
that was my fucking
IRL.
That was my mindset going into it. I was just like, okay, let's just play a guy.
The thing it seems to me is that what Parlo was planning to do when he's even discussing doing stuff IRL, he says, when you get here, I'm going to make you blow as soon as humanly possible. He's not eating for 32 hours, and he's still starving himself because he really wants to like have anal sex.
Well, and then he
all of a sudden in real life he's... Well, I'm just saying, do you think there's like there seems to be a big clear difference between what he says that he wants to do and what he ends up wanting to do?
Yeah. I think that's fair, but it's also like...
And it's also just like retroactive revoking of consent, where you engage willingly in a sex act, you discuss said sex act in like graphic detail, and then you engage in it willingly, and you reciprocate during said sex act, and then after the fact, you decide, actually, I didn't want to do that, therefore I was raped. When the other person has quite literally no ability to be able to intuit or know that, void of you literally saying no, stop, because like, and this is one of the things that's really frustrating as well, because there's a conversation to be had around, you know, I think it was in Parlo's document, he said something where he said I didn't want to say no to Wolfgang because I was scared of what he might do, but he was very comfortable. There's a recording that is in the original document where he confronts Wolfgang while they're still together. So he wasn't afraid to confront him, actually. And in every single interaction, Wolfgang has showed no signs of being hostile or pushy or aggressive when Parlo says, no, I don't want to right now, or whatever, right? That doesn't happen at all. That has literally never happened in any of the exchanges. So there was no reason to believe that. And then he does end up confronting him anyway. And he records this confrontation. And Wolfgang is like crying in the video, which is actually fucking insane. I just don't understand where this comes from, the idea that this other person is supposed to be able to read your fucking mind.
I mean, how am I supposed to tell the difference between, like, if I'm like, are we doing anything tonight? I mean, it's totally up to you. Like, I'm good either way. And he's like, oh, dude, I totally want to blow you. It's like, well, how am I supposed to know that you're actually saying you don't want to do that? That makes no sense.
Hold on. Where was that? Okay, we haven't got to that part of the document yet, so moving ahead a little bit. I was just talking about the difference there. But did you pick up on that at the time?
I picked up that he was awkward, but I just thought he was, like, quiet. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's fair. Carry on reading through this if you want. There seems to be a problem here as well with what, because you know by now that there's been a recording that Parlo did in private or in secret, right?
Yeah, probably. I
Yeah.
haven't looked at his doc yet.
You haven't looked at his doc yet?
I've been at work all day. I haven't had the chance to. I'm at work right now as I'm calling.
Okay, so you know there's a conversation between you two where he talks about the fact that you guys, he didn't actually say, let's have anal sex right now. And you said that you thought you did. Parlo said that didn't make any sense. And then
Wait, what?
that dispute never made it into the document.
Wait, what? Wait, when did this secret call happen? When did the secret call happen?
A secret call. It was more of a secret recording. We can go take a look if you'd like. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Oh, fuck. So he didn't know that Parlo recorded the confrontation at all until right now. That's insane.
Are you in the screen share?
Yeah, let me get so quick.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, this is so fucked.
Let me check if I have everything.
So this is the recording that Parlo took while him and Zilla were getting all the shit out of the Airbnb, and Wolfgang was there, and he's literally fucking crying. This is diabolical. This is the first time that he's hearing this. That's fucking crazy. He didn't even know that he recorded this.
Okay, so do you want me to be honest? When we did stuff, I felt rather pressured to do it. Yeah, it's just like regarding the like start of the thing. Oh, for goodness sake, my fucking flashlight's not working. I just felt kind of pressured to do stuff for you because I didn't want to make you feel upset if I didn't do anything.
You can tell me no when it comes to that stuff. You don't have to.
I know, but I felt afraid that if saying no would just piss you off because I spent about 1,000 on that ticket. But I mean, I was just saying things that was.
I even told you we don't have to do stuff until December if you want.
I mean, I tried not to necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I told you we can wait if you wanted.
It's regarding the shower stuff. I was like saying about like. Do you want to have a shower first before after me?
I'm sorry.
And then regarding like anal and stuff, you like ripped the condom and you were like, oh, do you want to now? Do you want to do anal now?
Yeah, and then you said sure, and I took the condom out, and you're like, no. I'm like, okay, I put it back.
Why would I say that?
So there's two bits there that don't make it in the document. So were you aware that this recording existed?
No, and isn't
That's
this,
so fucked up.
I mean, I'm not going to be like a little bitch about it, but isn't this illegal? I mean,
I don't know. I'm not sure. In the UK,
I mean, I don't
believe
care.
so.
I'm not gonna be a little bitch about it, but like, I mean, that's kind of
No.
fucked. But
Okay, so
well, I
there's
don't think
two
Parlo
bits
realizes
there.
a lot of what
Because
he points out here, and a lot of what I've like say here is what I've been saying this entire time.
it's not. So okay. There are two problems with what I've just played. Because in your document, you claim that you guys are going to go and shower together to save time, whereas here, Parlo is saying to you IRL, I said, do you want to go first or should I go afterwards? And that never makes it into your document.
I said, should we?
Well, I mean, so I'm reading this right now. Apparently in the United Kingdom, it's private versus business use. So you don't need the other party's consent to record if it's like for personal use. So if I get into a fight with Lavishly Lavender and I call Lavishly Lavender and I just want to save the recording because I save all my sick insults and then I never share it with anybody and I keep it for myself. Sharing it or distributing it without consent can have legal consequences. And then if it's for a business use, and I mean, I would argue that if you're using this for your ultra super secret fucking nuke rape allegation, I would consider that to maybe branch into that subject. So, I mean, it could be very much illegal. I'm not British, so I don't know, and I don't really care. But I mean, I would say that it's wrong that he recorded this and blasted it everywhere because it's actually really that's actually so fucked, dude. That's so fucked up.
Take one at the same time because, like, I mean, we're running low on time.
And
That
did
was my
Parlo say
point.
yes?
And the other thing too, Assyria Core, I completely agree. Like, why the fuck would you record this conversation unless you knew that you were going to use it later to like blow this guy's shit up? Like I think that he decided that he was going to do this. That's why he took a picture of the condom for some reason, just randomly. That's why he recorded this. I think that he was planning to do this. Obviously, I can't perceive other people's intentions or thoughts, but that's what I would say. That would be my opinion on the situation.
That was what I told. He said, "Yeah, sure." That was what I told him at the time.
That's not what he's claimed. That's not what he's claimed at the very least. But Parlo seems to intimate here that, okay, that never makes it up. I guess the question would be, why would you not bring that up at the time? When he's saying, because you're
Because he
explaining your
immediately
perspective.
interjected about the next thing. I didn't really have a chance to.
Okay. And then on the next thing, let me just refresh.
Steven's just being a silly guy.
I
Oh, yeah,
from
'cause
me
he-
is now in yours after he said he could
Okay.
tell what is happening. Let me in.
I'll bring you in a second, Impleton. All right. So in the second one, he then also says that you just ripped open the...
Dude, he's running from me. He doesn't want to debate me after I literally gaslit him into blowing all this shit up for no reason when nothing was going to happen. That's, oh my god. Himpleton sucks, dude. Himpleton sucks.
condom and just asked afterwards, are we
did
going to have
not.
sex?
I did not. I pulled out the condom. I said, "Do you want to have sex?" He said, "Yeah, sure." I opened the condom, and then he said, "Actually, I don't know about tonight." And I went, "Okay, that's fine. We don't have to." And then it went up on the shelf, and that's where it was for the rest of the trip.
Okay. Right. But Parlo directly refutes that. Do you not point that that's a point of contention? That like this is
I
Parlo's
mean, it's a point of
perspective?
contention, but
If you're
I
going
have
to
a
come and
photo.
like release your document first, that's probably something you should represent. Like what Parlo
I
is
have a
saying.
photo.
Because this is
I
part
have
of what Parlo is saying that you just leave out here.
I said in there that he claimed that I took the condom out to like peer pressure, and that's in the document.
Yeah. But the whole claim that Parlo had said that no, I never said yes to anal sex in that moment before you got the condom out. That's not included.
He
in the
said he
document.
did. If I didn't include that in the document, it's my fault. But he did say that, like, all right, sure, we can. And then, like, as soon as I opened the condom, he was like, actually, no, I'm not really feeling it.
Okay. Well, Parlo has perms. I think I saw him in chat right then. You can join if you want, mate. You can get perms to jump on. Okay.
Oh, so now Parlo will come on the call and talk to him, but he avoided resolving this quietly behind the scenes for how long? That's interesting.
And then the claim of the shower. So did you end up actually having a shower together? Or was Parlo showering while you were just in the bathroom?
No, we were in the shower together. I helped him shower. I helped get his back.
You helped get his bag?
Yeah.
Okay, because the claim that I've heard is you asked him to help with your bag.
No, I helped get his back, and then as soon as he was done, he got out and out of the bathroom.
Okay. Parlo's jumped in, so I'll just give him rolls. I guess we can hash this out. Okay, let's go. Parlo, you've got rolls to jump in whenever you want. Is he in the waiting? Okay, you can join whenever. Okay, let's listen to the rest of this then.
I'm sorry. And then regarding like anal and stuff, you like ripped the condom and you were like, "Oh, do you want to now? Gonna do anal now?"
Yeah, and then you said sure, and I took the condom out, and you're like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, I put it back."
Why would I say that?
That's what you said.
Okay.
That's what happened.
I don't know. I just felt a bit off put by everything. I feel like it was rushed a little too much. You feel me? And regarding like the other stuff, when you like asked me a lot like to go in bed and do that stuff, I just didn't really feel anything. And it was pretty uncomfortable as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that.
I don't know. Let me just do one last sweep and check. I might be back again, don't worry. But I just want to make sure I have everything for now because
What's going on? Please speak to me.
I just feel like sometimes I don't think you intend for it, but sometimes you just push in. It puts a lot of stress on me.
I'm sorry.
And like the sex thing as well. It's like,
And I mean, if we are reading the conversations that were shared in both documents, it was reciprocal. It was reciprocal. Like it was agreed upon. And obviously you can revoke consent at any point. Like if you engage in an act and then, midway through an act, you're like, I'm not down with this anymore. Can we stop? That is well within your right. Like, this is just such a fucking bold-faced lie. It's just such a bold-faced fucking lie.
I just felt like I had to do it like the day you came over because, I don't know, I was already really tired and I just felt like I had to do it because I didn't want to upset you. Yep.
You don't have to.
I didn't see that in my messages.
Dude, he literally said we could do it another time. Oh my god.
Well, okay. Can I point something out here real quick? That
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think Parlo realizes with the existence of this. That means even before because I'm not aware that this was recorded. This is a secret recording. That means like what I've been saying has been consistent with what I've said at that time. So it's like my story has been the same since the beginning. I don't think he realized that he just proved that.
Well, no, because Parlo's a fucking idiot, and Parlo included in his own document contradictory statements where he was like, I really didn't want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then the screenshot that he posts is like, I'm gonna suck the shit out of your dick. I'm gonna fucking blow the shit out of you. And then he's like, and I felt pressured. Yeah, true.
I mean, yeah, it seems like you're perfectly consistent. Like in the calls that you had with other people at the time, it just seems to line up, yeah? The argument that you've been
I
giving,
mean, that's been like the story the whole time. I've been consistently the same with that. And honestly, I didn't know that was recorded. Actually, can you send me that? Because I'm kind of glad it was. That's kind of great.
It's linked in Parlo's doc, but yeah, I can give you the link, sure.
Yeah, download that because I'm sure he'll probably try to get rid of that because that's
Wait,
that's fucking crazy.
you're not threatening legal action over this, surely?
No, I don't give a shit.
Okay, right.
Haha,
Fine.
dude, I fucking would. That's insane. That's insane. I totally would. That's crazy. I would fucking, I would rip that shit, dude. That's crazy.
We can go to the, just go to the end real quick.
By the way, I'm being told that I looked awful because I dipped out of Himpleton's stream. That's because he was bringing on other people, so I figured I'd go on other streams. You know, I don't. I wasn't Himpleton's
Weird
stream,
stuff
but then
about
I was.
Avalon?
Huh?
He was pressing on Avalon at the time?
No, he was going to. I had to be quiet because I'm at work right now, and he was going to bring in someone else, and I figured I would just dip out.
Okay,
I figured because I don't want to deal with like a whole shit ton of people right now.
Oh, like a whole panel? Okay, fair enough. If I bring Himpleton in, are you happy with that?
Yeah,
If he feels as though he's like upset because you like ran from him or whatever? Yeah?
I will
Okay,
absolutely
indeed.
argue with Himpleton on that.
It's your time.
So not only do we have Alex who wants to join call, but we also have Atwa who is going to bring up how he's just violated a cease and desist order allegedly, so that would be very interesting to highlight. Himpleton's also not very happy at the situation because, you know, you have to go out.
Wait, there's a cease and desist letter? Hang on. Parlo sounds... Ugh.
Himpleton on that.
It's your time.
So not only do we have Alex who wants to join call, but we also have Atwa who is going to bring up how he's just violated a cease and desist order allegedly, so that would be very interesting to highlight. Himpleton's also not
Dude, this guy's such a bitch. He has to have other people in the call, too? Come on.
very happy at the situation because, you know, you have to go out for work, but you have enough time to go and join this call.
Yeah, I got back, and Himpleton was bringing in Alex, so I dipped out.
Why did you dip out? You literally were open for a debate.
I told Himpleton I don't want to talk to a whole bunch of people right now.
You said that you'd debate Alex and you dipped before he joined.
I did not say I would debate Alex.
Yes, you did. You said you'd debunk his lies openly, and you
I don't want to
haven't.
talk to a whole lot of people right now.
Well, you're not talking with a whole lot of people. It's literally going
Yeah,
to
I
be...
don't want to. I want it to be a one-on-one.
Yeah, one-on-one between you and Alex.
No, I wanted it to be a one-on-one with me and Himpleton.
Defend yourself, you fucking weasel. Dude, this guy sucks. Actually, this guy's gonna come in and argue for me. Defend yourself to, my friend. Defend yourself to my dick writer. Moderator. Dude, this guy sucks. This guy sucks.
So you dipped out before Alex joined, despite the fact that you said you were going to debate him.
I did not say I was going to debate Alex.
You literally said you were going to debunk him.
Can you talk about the fact of the secret recording?
Debunking something? Like if somebody says, hey, Malcolm is gay, and I say, I will be debunking this claim. I will be debunking this with evidence that I am in fact not gay. That's not the same thing as debating somebody if I'm gay or not. Those are two totally different fucking things. Hello, duh. What? Dude, this guy. Woo. This guy. Oh my god.
That you took, by the way, it was.
I thought you said you weren't going to pussy over the legality of it, even though I had a legal right to do so.
I'm not talking about the legality of it. I'm talking about the fact that the secret recording you took has now backed up my story because that's exactly what I've been saying this
You mean
entire
the one
time.
where you forcibly came into the shower room and you literally didn't refute that?
I did not forcibly come into the shower room. I asked you if you want
yes,
to take a shower together, and you said
okay,
yes.
because
I literally asked you.
we could get a Zillow to attest.
Oh, and then so he's like, you literally raped me in the shower, and he's like, I literally didn't. I asked if I could come in, and you said yes, and he's like, moderator. Oh, wow.
Because they were actually a witness to the situation. I
Dylan
stated...
told me he's an unreliable narrator because he can't fucking remember anything about like this entire thing. So I don't know what the
Who said that? Who said that?
Zillow
That's what
said that. Could you send that
yes.
DM?
Zillow stated, Zillow can attest and corroborate because he was a witness there. I stated, do you want to go in the shower first or should I? Clearly illustrating I did not want to shower with...
Was this guy like fucking standing there, fucking Norman Bates style, where you guys were showering? Or is this guy just gonna hog ride you because he doesn't want to get fucking caught in this? That's crazy, dude. Literally, shut up. If you're gonna be willing to throw around your weight like this, you should be able to defend yourself on your own. That's crazy. That's actually insane.
With you. And then when I was taking off the clothes, I was doing it so rigidly because I was so uncomfortable by the fact that you were in the room with me.
Dylan can attest you were taking your clothes off rigidly. How would he attest to that?
No, this is mutually exclusive now. Now that we're inside the room, okay, because after you just came barging in, then I take a shower. I do not make any eye contact with you.
Into the room.
Yes, you did. You literally just made your way in because you had this entire fantasy about having shower sex.
No, I asked if you want to take a shower together, and you said yes. I didn't just kick the door in and go
No, I
like.
never said you kicked the door in. I said you literally forced your way inside.
I'm not saying that you kicked the door down, but I'm saying that you barged in there with such brute force that you slammed the door open and grabbed me by the fucking face and slammed it into the wall and said, "We're taking a shower together, bitch." And then you broke every single one of my fingers in a meticulous, repeatable motion. This guy's such a fucking idiot.
Literally completely disregarding all the signs that I clearly didn't want to do anything. And then at the very end, did you have was that your pubes in the sink, or was that the...
No, I shaved my face.
Okay, so you didn't wash it down the sink anyway, so...
That has a lot to do with the rape allegations here. Yes, Your Honor, I was raped, but also did not clean up beard trimmings and beard clippings from the sink, Your Honor. Please have that noted in the record. That's crazy. That's actually so funny, dude. This guy sucks. This guy really sucks. Yeah, this guy sucks. And also, yeah, like, you can also just say no. I mean, that's also an option. And to pretend that this guy was gonna, like, fucking murder this guy if he said no is actually insane. Because up until this point, Wolfgang has been so incredibly respectful and agreed, like, he's doing everything that he should be doing in this situation. You know, he's like, "Hey, do you want to do this? Oh, you don't want to? That's okay. Maybe we can do it another time. No problem. Like, we can do it." Like, what the fuck?
Then you asked me to scrub your back before I went out. Really?
Yeah, I helped you shower. What the fuck?
No, you literally asked for me to scrub your back. Now you scrub my back. Do you know how comfortable that is?
I asked if I helped you shower, and I asked if you would help me. What?
Excuse me.
Do you know how uncomfortable it is to be involved in a mutual exchange event? Do you know how uncomfortable of an ass that is? That's so horrible. Also, again, here's... no thanks. I don't really want to. Look at that. We just fixed the entire problem. Well, crazy.
I think you're neglecting the main point here. Okay, first of all, there was clearly enough signs by body language and also by my own personal words that I clearly did not want to have a shower with you. Then when I felt there was no way possible to say no, because keep in mind, when you've been denied sex before, you've completely given the person a cold shoulder. You're completely unpredictable. For example, when
literally they spent how many days together and he still was hanging out with him and talking to him. He was like, I don't really want to do it right now. Okay, that sounds fine. We can do it later. No problem. Like, hello? Yes, Parlo is debate broing his own rape right now.
Spa, on Zillow's behalf, stated that he didn't want to do anything, you completely, like, literally aired him, ignored him, and fucked him off for the rest of the day.
What?
Spa can literally attest that.
Okay, this is going to like a different area now. Just real quick, Parlo. So there was a conversation where you said, "Okay, we can go in the shower. Do you want to go first, or shall I?"
Yeah.
Apparently, after that, internet adjacent said, "Oh, well, we can go in at the same time. It'll be quicker." Did that happen?
No, not to what I recall.
That's exactly what happened. I said it would save us time if we did that.
Okay.
I do not recall that.
Apparently,
because we were
internet adjacent enters.
like the whole day doing like the pyro doc. So we were.
Yeah, I brought up the pyro document to you to clearly show that I wanted to be preoccupied with something else to disengage with the sexual conversation that you kept
were going
instigating.
to leave at 6:30, and by the time that we had,
is he really gonna lie about this? Dickers, please, fucking blow this twink out of the water, Dickers, please, Dickers, please. He read this document, right? He read all of it. Did I skip the end? Did he watch all of it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's right here. Hang on, I got it. I got it. It's right here. It's right here. I got it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Dickers, kill him. What's the run for food? Have you checked the maps? Not that long. I haven't seen. Why don't we just order stuff? I'm almost there. Like pizza. Next stop is here. Got here. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the map. How long it took. When do you want to do it? Before food. When do you want to do it? Before food. Not, I don't want to. Not, this is when I want to do it. I'm making a declarative statement and when I want to engage in a sex act, okay? How long do you want to do it for? As long as we can last, I guess. If we should before 12 because that's when Domino's closes. Okay, give me a bit. What do we do about blank, by the way? I don't want to have sex with him in another room. Parlo says, I know. We can do it another time if you want. We can do the 3rd or the 4th. It's up to you. I'd rather do it tonight, but we can ask him to leave for a bit. And then they're literally, hope you had fun last night. Hey, y'all made it. I'm going to blow you as quickly as humanly possible. You have no idea. I'm hungry and I need to eat. Do you want to do it shortly after I get there or right when I arrive? Sex tonight or no? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Totally. Dickers, get him.
Sexual stuff. It was 5:30. So it was like, all right, well, we have an hour to get ready. And some of us are doing like a lot to get ready. So what the fuck do we do?
So, Parlo, you're in the bathroom at this time, okay? Are you in between undressing at this point? Or are you about to start undressing?
To what I remember, I was getting undressed near the shower rack, like, very slowly, and, like, Like, I just felt myself kind of seizing up because I didn't know how to get myself out of the position.
Oh my god. I was literally like fucking catatonic. I was literally fucking catatonic. Oh my god, dude.
I'll actually be right back, Dickers. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, you've got perms to hop on whenever you want, if you'd like.
Alright, I'll be back.
Hopefully you want to contend with this, but okay. Right. So, you said you never had that conversation. You never said at any point, oh, do you want to have it at the same time? Yeah, sure, sounds great.
No, I was not enthusiastic about this in the slightest.
But enthusiastic...
There's literally messages of you saying that you want to suck his dick so fucking hard. You're going to make him bust. You're going to make him bust. You say, yes, I want to have sex. Like, come on.
I'm saying whether you said it or not.
Regardless, no, I don't remember saying it at all.
Okay. So you were in the shower and turned away, kept yourself turned away, while Jason was...
Yes, explain to me how this would make any sense that I simply stated, yes, we can do this to be quicker, and then I turn away, do not make any eye contact, and simply keep myself to the far opposite side of the shower the entire time.
Like a beat dog.
Okay.
Anyone else would be able to judge via body language that the person, especially me, was clearly like in distress, and I wanted to get out. I felt genuinely trapped.
In distress.
The shit was uncomfortable.
Alright, there we go, I'm back.
Okay, so when did you first start making this claim that you had an agreement that you were going to have a shower at the same time? Because it'd be quicker.
I said that like after he said the like, do you want to go first or do you want me?
What is this? He just admitted to saying yes. Hang on, let me back that up.
Genuinely trapped in that language of the person the entire time. Do you know how this would make any sense that I simply stated, yes, we can do this to be quicker, and then I turn away, do not make any eye contact, and simply keep myself to the far opposite side of the shower the entire time?
Right, okay.
Anyone else would be able to judge via body language that the person, especially me, was clearly like in distress, and I wanted to get out. I felt genuinely trapped in that. The shit was uncomfortable.
Alright, there we go, I'm back.
Okay, so when did you first start making this claim that you had an agreement that you were going to have a shower at the same time? Because it'd be quicker.
I said that like after he said the like, do you want to go first or do you want me?
Directly afterwards. So you're not referencing some message in the DMs days before about shower sex.
Yeah. We also did brought up shower sex before in the DMs. Even before this whole trip.
I'm saying it's not a reference to those. You're saying in the moment, right? So
yeah, he did say yes, but...
No, yeah, in the moment I asked.
He said, she said. Did you feel as though Parlo was tense when you got in the bathroom? If he's kind of trying to turn away from you, not speaking to you?
No, I didn't suspect anything like that.
Okay. Right then, and Parlo, you remember him asking you to, after you got in the shower, to wash his back?
After I came out, yeah.
Wait, after you came out the shower? So you'd already done in the shower?
Yeah, I did it genuinely as quick as possible, and then I came out, and then he asked.
Okay. Is this
like
correct?
For me to do
remember it?
I said, do you want to help me? And you're like, no, I'm going to dip out of here. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
No.
So
that's not true at all. You told me to do your back.
I said, do you want to help me? And you said no.
That's not what he... Oh my god, he literally said, I asked you, can you wash my back? And then you said, no, I don't want to. And I said, okay. And he's like, no. Literally, no. So, did you wash his back or not? Was the back washed? Guys, this is really important. This is really important, okay? This is really important. I have to know. Was the back washed? Was the back washed? I have to know.
Oh, I was like, okay.
No, I did your back after you literally told me to do it. I said I didn't want to, but you literally
told
me
to do it. No, you were
getting
out already.
I did your back.
You were already getting out of there.
Wait, I genuinely can't believe you're literally openly lying right now.
So, wait, Internet Jason, did Parlo end up washing your back?
No, I don't believe so. I don't, he did not.
So he went from saying no to I don't believe so now.
He did not do that.
So. Don't believe so. But when Parlo says I don't believe so, curious. I mean, I just want to know, was the back washed? I'm curious now. Now I have to know. Whose back was washed and whose wasn't? Who had a dirty back? I have to know.
You have a recording of him literally not even denying that he made his way in despite me not wanting to be there. I genuinely... Sorry.
You said this earlier on stream. That he did. You watched each other's backs, I thought. That was the impression that I got earlier.
I think I said that, like, if he wanted to, and he didn't.
Okay. Right. Okay. I guess people can go back on stream to see what was said at the time then. Okay. I don't even know where to go from that then. Okay. So... Okay. Yeah, moving along. Okay. So after that, Parlo, at any point did you think that it might be notable that this person has just kind of like walked into the shower room with you guys together and you don't say anything like, whoa, what are you doing? Hello? Yeah, I'm in here. Are you... Okay, I'm not done yet. Something just to indicate that you are in the shower and that maybe he shouldn't be?
My document covers like numerous examples, which is very just identical to that situation where, I even highlighted to Wolf how I have a problem with saying no, so genuinely in situations that are like that, I start straight.
Well, okay. Yeah, it's not. I have a problem with saying no. You literally said yes multiple times. It's not that you had a problem saying no. It's that you said yes and you reciprocated. I have a problem saying no. So instead, I said yes and then reciprocated. Dude, come on. This guy fucking sucks.
Stressing out, I seize up, and I don't really know how to get myself out of that position. I mean, a lot of the situations just, yeah.
All right.
Wait, hold on a sec. Wait. You just said that you have a problem saying no. No, so is it not
Apparently said
possible
that
for
to you
you
in
to...
person.
Yeah, I literally told you that in
You said
person, so I don't
yesterday?
know why you're acting like...
I
told you on the
was not
13th.
told that.
I told you on the 13th.
I know why you're acting like...
I told you,
I told you I'm a what? What did he say?
like...
I
I told you on the
was not
13th.
told that.
I told you on the 13th.
I know why
Oh,
you're
I
acting
told you
like...
on the 13th.
I told you on the 13th.
Absolutely did not.
I did, on the bed. I told you on the 13th,
Did not.
and you acknowledged it, and you said we'd go as slow as possible. You're full of shit.
Oh, that, yeah, I thought you were talking about refusing to take a shower or whatever. I'm like, that's not true at all. And yeah, wait, that doesn't,
Okay, on the
that doesn't help
13th.
your claim when you're like, hold on a sec. Wait, you just admitted that I've openly told you we can go as slow as possible to make you comfortable.
No, so you originally denied a claim.
Oh, he got him. He got him. Oh, he's so quick. He's down with the... Oh, fuck. He fucking got him. Holy shit. He fucking got him. Oh. So you admit that I did say that we could go, like, as slow as possible, and that we did. And then I was going slow, right? So you admit that? Oh! So you admit it. You think you're really pretty. Oh! He's coming in with the chair.
I've literally just
Wait,
brought
hold
up on
on.
the 13th,
Wait.
where I
Wait,
quite literally
hold on.
stated...
Wait,
Can we
Let Paul
Like-
just finish what he's saying.
Oh,
Oh,
Let's
you go
move on.
first, because you go first.
well, you literally just admitted that, like, I told you we can
Gotcha,
go as slow
bitch.
as possible to make you comfortable. Like, do you not understand how much that, like, affects the the narrative? That, like,
It literally does not affect anything. First of all, you fingered me without my consent, okay? Then you
Bro.
consistently
Not
pushed
you
for
asking.
penetrative sex.
Oh
Yes, you
my
did.
God.
You didn't ask for my
I asked
consent.
you if you
And you
wanted
made me into
Alright.
the shower without my permission, and we have witness testimony, and you're trying...
We have witness testimony. You are a fucking adult that was sending dirty text messages and eagerly reciprocating in sexual acts. I don't understand this at all. I don't understand this at all. I have corroborating evidence. The evidence is that God sees all.
trying to bring up one specific thing you stated in response after you tried to initially deny that ever happened. I love your way of just manipulating the narrative right
Okay.
now.
Let's
This
walk
isn't
through it real
manipulating
quick
the
then,
narrative.
okay?
Yes, it is.
Let's walk through it real quick then. Okay.
You're saying
So
that I,
what
like,
this is... Yeah, what this is started with is the conversation where you're walking back and forward into the room. You claim in your document this is because you have a charging plug in that room. You couldn't do it in your own one, so you had to go back into Parlo's. Parlo is claiming this happens every 15 minutes, over 2 hours. Wait, hold on.
Yes,
and
sir.
that apparently Azeroth, or whatever his name is, okay, Zillow, is claiming that he heard Internet Adjacent saying, okay, I'm going back to bed now. I'm going back now, as if to try and
was going in the
invite
bedroom.
you.
I put that in the Google Doc that, yes, the reason I was going in and out is because my phone was in there and it was charging. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go in here for a bit. I've talked to Avalon about this. I don't know why the narrative is suddenly changing. Because I told him this
What
is what
narrative has
happened.
changed?
It's now like me trying to allure like Parlo in there. No, I told Avalon days ago that like the reason I was going in and out of there was because my phone was in there. And it was the only outlet in the fucking Airbnb where I could charge my phone. I put that in
Well,
my
that's not-
Google Doc.
That's
I
not
did
the
not say
narrative
yes, so I
changing.
don't know why people are saying yes there in chat.
That's just the fact that you've made a claim. And that
Oh, and he's fucking reading chat too. Oh, this guy's cooked.
Azeroth at Zillow has like what ignored you, doesn't find that reasonable. When you were going back into your room, okay, because later on you would say to Parlo in DMs, "Come here, :3." Were you saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm going back into my room now,"
No.
in a way to get
When
Parlo
he said-
to maybe invite him into your room? I mean, it's not even rape if that happens, right?
When he said that he wanted to not do anything for a while, I was like, okay. So I was going in and out of the room because my phone was in there and it was charging. It was the only place I could use my phone. 2 hours later, I texted Parlo like, all right, come in here. And he's like, yeah, all right, I'm kind of horny.
True. Dickers. Tell me that you read this. Come in here, smiley face. I do want my pee-pee sucked, lol. I'm gonna be a little horny, but you have to be delicate. Oh my god! Like, this is like literally fucking entrapment, dude. Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
It's not true at all. His entire cable thing is a complete fucking bullshit alibi. He was even seen messaging. Sorry, let me speak. He was seen messaging.
Sorry, let me speak. Do you not know that we have different superior outlets in America? In the great US of A, we have the superior outlets, and if there was only one fucking outlet that wasn't cucked by fucking tea and crumpets and shit, obviously he has to use that fucking outlet, you ding dong.
messaging your friend by it, stating you're trying to get me to cuddle you in your room. You came in numerous times, pushing for me to come into the room. I mean, Avalon saw it. We're going to have his testimony very soon. Consistently seeing you come
Well, very
out,
soon.
you're asking me to come in. Then you're also seen stating, look in your DMs, and I consistently make excuses for why I don't want to engage with you.
Talking about the whole conversation. And then when you're like, I don't want to do anything right now, I'm like, okay, we don't have to. And then I asked you 2 hours later.
That's not true at all. You continuously pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pressured and pushed.
The only instances
That's
where I
been
would
levied chronologically
the only
in my
instances
documents.
where I would tell you to
They
check-
are literally not chronological, you lying little fucking rat. You chopped them up. He chopped them up. They're out of fucking order, and they're cropped dishonestly to make it look like he was like trying to coerce him into sex when he is reciprocating the sexual engagement, saying that he does want to fuck. Literally, dude. Oh, Dickers, I wish that... Dickers, please, Dickers.
DMs are when I send you something in DMs, and there's a significant gap of you saying that like you don't want to do anything, and 2 hours later I'm like, all right, let's do something. So it's not
You
like
seem pushing consistently over the course of 2 hours in order to engage.
Let me speak, because you're saying that I was consistently saying check your messages. That's not true, and you've now confirmed it because I was saying I fucking
You're stuttering.
I was talking about like,
Oh, you're stuttering. Oh, you're so owned. You're so owned. Is it not just like so fucking transparent that this guy is such a fucking pathetic liar? Is it not so transparent? He has nothing. Except a Cinderella dildo, I guess.
can you let me speak, please? You were saying that I kept telling you to check your messages. Those are the messages that have been provided where I said, do you want to do something? And you're like, I want to be on Minecraft right now. That's where you're saying like, oh, you're saying like check the messages. That's what that's talking about. And then 2 hours later, I say come in here, and you're like, okay. So how am I?
Not true at all.
Oh, yeah, just totally fucking lying. Where's this one about Minecraft again? You up? I was gonna go grab the cord to your Xbox. Yeah, sorry, I was recording. Do you want me to blow you before or after the club? Before. Alright, just let me know, and I can go and change. Do you want me to change and we can do stuff? I want to chill right now in Minecraft, alright. Okay, so, lie. Another lie detected. Another lie.
Numerous interviews over with you over the course of countless hours.
How would I be going in and out telling you to check your phone if there's no messages? Why would I be telling you to check your phone? That makes no sense.
Not only did you send
True,
messages
got him.
on Discord, but you also came in and verbally asked several times, and Avalon was there, and he can attest. He can literally see what you were doing
I
consistently.
talked to Avalon. Avalon said what I was talking about is check your phone, which is what I've been referring to about, yeah, check your phone. And then you're saying, oh, I want to be on Minecraft for a bit. That's what that's what we're talking about. That's what Avalon told me that he's talking about. That is what this is. That is what Avalon said he would back up because that's what he's talking about. He remembers me saying that, like, to tell you to check your phone because those are the DMs.
Avalon also attests verbally that you came in several times to ask me to come into your room.
That was before you said that you want to be on Minecraft.
That is not. You're literally just making this shit up on the fly right now.
Is that not after the
Yeah,
fact?
he's totally making shit
So
up. Oh my God,
Parlo
that's
says
crazy.
that he wants to play Minecraft, and then 2 hours later, that's when the DM happens where it's like, come in here, :3.
Yeah.
And I thought in that intervening 2 hours was when you're going back and forth and charging your phone.
I was going in and out of the room to check my phone. I was not saying, oh, come in here.
There was a charging socket right next to his bed, by the way.
That's the one I was using. Yes. The
Coming in and out to charge your phone.
Oh my God, he's so fucking dumb. He walked right into the rake. He walked right fucking into it. So you agree that he was going in and out of his room to charge his phone? Like, is there nothing else that he could be doing? Like, he's getting up to come and see what you guys are doing. Maybe he wants to come out and watch TV. Maybe he wants a snack. Maybe he wants a beverage. Maybe he just wants to come out and say, hey, hello? Oh. Hell yeah, dude.
There's a charging socket by your bed. The
The
one
one I
with
was
the LED lights
using,
plugged
the one
into
that
it.
would have to be in my bedroom, Parlo? You mean the reason I
The
was
one with
going
the
in and out
LED
of my
lights plugged
bedroom?
into it, you could have very evidently used that plug in order to charge your phone. Why would you need to go
Are you not
across the
understanding
room?
what you're
It's a
saying?
complete
You're
bullshit
confirming that
alibi that you have made up and strewn in your document to try and excuse your constant
You're
What are you
making
pressure.
fucking saying? That's the fucking outlet I was using. That's what I'm saying. And
Wait,
you now
hold on,
confirmed
hold on,
that.
But
hold
this is funny because now,
Okay,
now you're catching yourself out in a lie here. Because why would you then
Oh,
need to
I'm lying.
traverse
I said I was
across the
going in and out to charge
Airbnb?
my phone. And no, I said I was going in and out to charge my phone, and you're saying, well, there was an outlet by your bed. Why didn't you just use that one? It's like,
So then why are
you
you
mean the outlet?
transversing the Airbnb in order to instigate sexual-based conversations
No,
trying
I
to
was
lure me
going in and
into
out
your
of the room
bed?
because I wanted to chill with you guys.
He was trying to lure me. I was lured. Okay. Hey, come here. Suck my pee-pee. Hello? Dude.
Oh, so your story's now changing. Oh, is it now?
No,
Oh,
what
the
the fuck are you
actual
talking
liar is
about?
getting caught lying. Holy
You said I
shit.
was going in and out of the room. You're fucking retarded, man. What are you talking about?
I
You
was
literally
about to
Okay,
say-
so
leveled in your
hold on,
document that you were trying to...
boys. Okay, so when you say that you're going in and out of the room because you're trying to charge your phone, are you going back into your room to charge your phone and then going back to them in order to like hang out with them? Is that what's
Yes,
happening?
that is what I was doing.
So you're not going into Parlo's room to charge your phone?
No,
That's not
Parlo
the
didn't
point.
have a room. It was just my room.
Okay, right. And Parlo, you're contesting that because
No, I was
Same
bringing up how
misunderstanding?
he was obfuscating context. So in his document, he tries to levy this on an alibi that he was simply moving and traversing rooms in order to charge his phone. But now he claims that he was actually charging his phone by the fucking bed where the power outlet was. Well, that doesn't
Right.
explain.
Let's see. The reason that this is relevant, blah, blah, blah. He tried to say that I peer pressured him in the instance since I was constantly walking in and out of the bedroom, and he tried to say that this was me trying to, like, quote, allure him or some shit. In reality, the reason that I was going in and out of the bedroom is that it had the only outlet in the Airbnb where I could use my phone. There were 2 outlets in the living room and 1 in the bedroom. One of the entire outlets in the living room was being taken up by Parlo, and the other outlet had 1 socket that did not work, and the other socket being taken up by an extender. Below is a DM of me messaging the host of the Airbnb about the wall socket that didn't hurt. Hey, just letting you know that one of the outlets next to the TV isn't working. And for those of you asking why I didn't just plug my phone charger into the extender, I am an American. And my phone charger is different than the sockets that they have in the UK. So on the second day, while we were out at Oxford, I actually went and had to buy a special plug so that my phone would work. Below is my phone charger and the plug. The reason that this is important is because if you know anything about power outlets and extenders, you know that plugging an extender into another extender doesn't make it work. So even if I tried plugging into the working outlet in the living room and it didn't work, the only outlet that I was able to use was the one in the bedroom. This was why I was walking in and out of the room. Not because I was trying to lure Parlo into sex, despite him saying that he wasn't down right now, but because my phone was in there. And while I was dressed up in a, quote, interesting outfit, the reason why is because I was planning on wearing it out to the club. After we all sat around for a bit and went to the bedroom, and I told him to come here, and this is his response. I want my pee-pee sucked. We then did sexual stuff again, so he lured him in there, and then he sucked his dick anyway, in which he complimented my appearance. Like, dude, come on. Dickers, I wish that you would have read this.
And he was trying to use it as a cover story for why he kept coming from his room to the main room where me and Avalon were sitting, pushing me over and over and over again to adhere to his sexual fetishes in his room and to do shit with him. When I
Dude, meanwhile, this guy is like a sexually depraved, degenerate fucking freak that should be locked away from polite society until the end of time, okay?
clearly was not reciprocating, and Avalon could clearly pick up on that. So his
That's not
entire
what Zillow has attested to, though, is it?
Zillow's
What Zillow
wasn't
said
an
is it seemed
Avalon.
pretty clear that he was
Zillow has
intimating
told me
that
multiple
you should
times
come
that he's
back
a
to my
fucking
room.
unreliable narrator in this
Wait,
instance.
hold on. This is helping you. I don't know if you realize. What Zillow has attested to is the fact that Internet Jason was trying to imply, you should come back to my room, you should come back to my room. Oh, I'm going to go back to my bedroom now. But it's not that he's walking up to you in some other place in the Airbnb and saying...
This is correct. In this document where he's talking about, where he uses Zillow's testimony, what he's basically trying to demonstrate, like the way that it reads is that he was just being like, he was like trying to get attention. It wasn't that he was like trying to sexually like coerce or try to get him to come into the room. Wolfgang would come in and out of the bedroom pretty frequently, a lot of the time prompted when we spoke to each other. He'd just kind of sit there at the end of the sofa for a few minutes and then say, I'm going to bed, and go back into the bedroom again, doing it multiple times. It got to a point where he flat out said something along the lines of, please come to bed with me. At that point, I got worded out and left the apartment. I suspected it was him being pushy, as you were very obviously blanking out his advances and moves, and his intent made a lot more stuff when I saw the whole bite message and stuff like that. Because he's like, I'm trying to get him to cuddle in bed right now or whatever. And so he's saying that he's like trying to like fish for attention. I mean, I guess you could say that he was like trying to get him to do sex shit, but this reads to me like he was just like attention fishing because it was Avalon and Parlo, right? And then even in this one right here, he gets him to come in the room and he's like, oh, I'm so horny. Like, All right.
You should come back and adhere to my sexual
Yeah,
fetishes.
this doesn't help
It's
his
not
case at all
explicit.
because you're not understanding the situation. He is attesting, because he was literally there, that he was consistently asking for me to come into his room to cuddle. Not only do you have the bite DMs, which literally prove Wolfgang's intentions, but you also have him literally being caught lying numerous times. Why? I really don't understand how this is being lost in
Where have I
translation.
lied?
Okay,
Where
what
have
I'm
I
talking
lied?
about is explicitly what was said, right? Is he trying to imply that, oh, I'm going back to my room now and trying to bait you in order to say, like, oh, I'll come and join you? That's what Avalon said. He said it was painfully obvious that Internet Jason was trying to get you to come back to bed with him, and it just wasn't working. You weren't into it. You were given Avalon like side eye. It was pretty clear that you weren't interested.
We can have Avalon literally come into the call. He can
Can we talk
communicate
about the fact
back
that
to us.
Avalon has said before that he has like memory issues and he's not a reliable narrator in this instance? Why is that not like
You
a point of
you said that earlier. I asked you for DMs. It's
I don't have. We talked about that in DC, unfortunately. So we'd have to ask him about that.
we can ask
But it's
Avalon if you'd
also-
like.
I think that everybody here is probably pretty dumb as fuck. I'm gonna be totally honest with everybody. I think traveling to the United Kingdom for some mid-bussy is probably not the smartest thing that we could be doing here. But, I mean, in looking at the documents that are produced, Parlo has cropped out more and dishonestly framed, primed, and presented the information in his document in a much more malicious and vindictive way. Well, Wolfgang actually shows the full context and shows and has reasonable explanations for a lot of the things that are alleged to be inappropriate, like going into the room. It's because his fucking phone was in there. Like, shit like that. Like, okay, let's just pretend that everyone is an unreliable narrator. Everybody sucks. Everybody has memory issues. Everybody's dumb as fuck, okay? Everybody sucks. All right, fantastic. Looking only at the information that is in the documents, there's literally no way that you would say that Parlo is the one that is being accurate in his retelling of events, because Parlo clips so much out of context to make himself look better.
I mean, I'm totally down. But yes, I was going in and out of the room because my phone was in there and I wanted to hang out with you guys. You're saying there's a phone charger or there's a wall socket by your bed. Yes. The wall socket by my bed, which would be the one that like my phone was plugged into, which would be lining up with my story that yes, I had to walk in and out of the room to use the outlet. Which means yes, I was going in and out of the room because my phone was charging, Parlo. You confirmed that. That's why I was.
Was there no plug socket in the living room of the Airbnb?
There was numerous.
Wait, hold on. Let me speak. There were two sockets, or like two main outlets. Parlo was taking up one of them. It was kind of behind a couch. The other one was by the TV, and it had an extender plugged into it, and the other socket didn't work. I put that in my document that I messaged the Airbnb host that the outlet did not work, like the socket wasn't working. But obviously, I'm American, so I have to put an extender on my my phone charger so that it works. You can't plug an extender into an extender; it doesn't work.
Well, no, it's not. It's not an extender; it's an adapter, right? So if you've got
you can't plug an
adapter, extender,
it wouldn't work. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't plug that into like another thing and have it work. It doesn't work like that.
It would.
It was not working.
I do that all the time when I go to the States or like Europe.
I can tell you for a matter of fact, it was not working.
Okay, an adapter and an extender. An extender typically is like the same plug, no? Like if I get an extension cord, it's going to go into the same outlet, right? Like if I have an extension cord and I want to run, I don't know, I want to run my computer into a different room or something like that, I plug in an extension cord that my already American plug plugs into. An adapter specifically is something that you put into the socket that allows it to put electricity through a different kind of outlet. An extender is the same plugin. Okay.
All right. So when you were going back and forth in this message that you've jumped into the screen share, right?
No. Let me look real quick.
Okay. So it's a text conversation between you and somebody called Byte, right? Blah, 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 blah. In December, I'll be in Latvia visiting my family. Well, real dad side anyway. You said, that sounds fun. And then later on at 5, you said, trying to get him to cuddle in bed right now. Byte says, take it easy.
Where does the time line up? How does that, because that says 12. I mean,
well, I was asking you, what's your sort of DMs?
That's I don't think those come from my DMs. Those are not my DMs. I don't know where those are from. I didn't take a photo of my DMs with Byte.
No, but I'm saying these are your DMs with somebody else. This isn't your screenshot, true, because it's got your nameplate at the top. What is the time on your DMs? You can get it to match up, right?
I can check.
Yeah.
But also, my time is out of date because I'm in a different continent right now. So
yeah, if you compare the time, but if you compare the time from this screenshot, right, from this message with the message that you sent to Parlo, come in here, :3, was it before or after?
I can check real quick.
Because presumably, if you text Parlo and said come in here, and then Parlo says yeah, okay, and comes straight through, I guess why would there be a text conversation with somebody else saying that I'm trying to get him to come through?
I'm trying to find that DM right now. What was said again? Okay.
We can wait on that.
I'm genuinely trying to find this. I can't seem to find it.
As bad as I feel for young PPM making this into
content,
I am so glad that this will 86 tactical Templar. Only good that will come from this.
This is so dumb. Why didn't you ask Parlo about why he chopped up screenshots and why he was like actively engaging? Why don't we bring that up? This is boring.
I don't see that DM at all.
No, it should be on the 13th of October. Trying to get him to cuddle in bed right now.
I'm looking for that. I don't see that.
Are you saying these DMs maybe have been faked?
I can take a screenshot of this. I can take a screenshot of exactly the...
Oh my god, are these fake screenshots? Holy shit.
Scenario.
No way.
Yeah, this is it.
No way, dude. No way. No way. No way. Dude. Bro. Dude.
Wait, okay. I'm trying to think too. Wait,
oh my god.
if you line that time up, even if that message was there and I said it like after that, I think that'd still be like around 6 p.m. Wouldn't that?
Oh,
I don't.
oh my god.
Have you deleted a DM?
No, I did not.
Oh,
Because why would this person say take it easy after you'd said 6
Nope.
hours before?
Unfucking
That sounds
believable.
fun.
That is an interesting question. Why would he say take it easy to... That sounds fun. Well, actually, I don't know, because if he says, okay, you're having a conversation, I'll be in December, I'll be in Latvia, visiting my family, well, real dad's side anyway, and then the person you're talking to says, that sounds fun, and then you're, like, ending the conversation, so you say, like, take it easy. Is that, like, could that not be a normal response? Did he dirty delete it? Because I could see just saying, like, hey, like, take it easy, or whatever when you're done with a conversation, right? Like, I'm saying goodbye, and I'm like, take it easy. Like that. Okay, tell me more.
Unfucking believable, dude. Holy shit. You fucking retard. Oh my
We can
god.
still check up the time if you want. So if you say I fucked everything up, that was how many hours? 6 hours
Wait, I'm so
before
confused.
I fucked everything up.
Here.
Oh my goodness.
We can still find out what time you sent that message.
He did admit to deleting it. Oh, that looks not good. That looks not good. Quite fishy. Quite fishy. Okay. 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 Interesting. Okay.
Even if you deleted it.
Wait,
Why
I'm
would you
so
delete it
confused.
if
What
it's
the
not
fuck?
incriminating?
It would have been around 6. It would have been around.
Why would you ask him to sign an NDA if there wasn't some kind of nefarious, incriminating intent?
6 then. Wait, okay, hold on a
It would
second.
have been
Yeah,
around-
because this was within.
Did you know that this screenshot was being shopped about?
No, I'm genuine. I have no idea what the fuck happened.
Then why go back
I'm
and delete
genuinely
the
He's
message?
kind of, he's fumbling.
Okay, it's
A shame.
seems
He had a
pretty-
strong
pretty clear
case.
here.
A shame.
that you have just gone back and deleted a message, right?
I guess I might. I don't.
Wait,
Wait,
not
very
looking good,
meticulously,
guys.
by
Not
the way,
looking
there was the
good.
one single message deleted. Wonder why.
Not looking good,
Can we
guys.
hold on a sec? What time did they send that message? Or what time were arguing?
Just
I
move
mean,
on
for
from it,
them,
dude. Just let it go.
Well, wait.
Oh my
I'm not sure
goodness.
what the question is.
Like,
that looks like
It's
fun.
trying to get him to cuddle in bed right now.
There's an 8-hour difference.
I'm trying. I'm genuinely trying to
So
figure
your
that out.
time zone is 8 hours behind theirs.
Well, wait. I'm
Seems
saying
like
what's
somewhere
the
in
time
Europe.
difference between me sending that message and her response?
Oh man, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
It is 10 minutes.
This didn't involve minors. What are you talking about? Who are the minors that are involved in this? They're all adults.
Why is he stuttering so
I mean,
much
you
as
would,
well?
you would. Okay, Parlo.
You
You
know,
would
he
know
keeps
if you
saying I
deleted
might
it,
have,
right?
I guess, I don't remember, like, why the fuck is he stuttering so much? He's clearly got some shit to hide
all
here.
the time. I don't think of the situation 24/7.
It's not what you said in my DMs, dude. You said that this shit's been plaguing you and you want it to remain private, but
Yeah,
then you fucking lied to Himpleton,
I
didn't
did
you?
want it to be. I did want it to be private, and then as I found out today that I was kind of yeah, I was kind of
Yeah, you
Hold
kind
on.
of just made it public, and now it's like backfiring
No,
in a
I-
bad way. And now you're
Could you get
dragging
me
all
a-
your
could you
friends
get me
down
a-
with you.
Could you get me a
Stickers can back
screenshot
us
real
up.
quick of your side? Hold on. Could you get a screenshot real quick of your side of the Parlo DM where you
Oh
said
fuck! I totally forgot to show you guys this. This is actually really funny too. Where are the screenshots in here? Because apparently it was mentioned that they were like gonna have a fucking three-way or something with this Zillow person, and Parlo is like, he was freshly 18, literally freshly a former minor. Like, you have no idea, a former minor. Can you join VC? I can ask him there. I can't, unfortunately. Okay, do you want me to just put it in here? It's about the three-way that we talked about before. Yes, do you want to call about it? Zillow said that he wanted to do the three-way, like, before he gets us sleepy. Like, in general with you and someone else who is a third, like anyone else who could be a third? No, like, you, me, and him. Oh, yes! I'd love that. Nice. Only if he'd be down with me, though, because IDK if he named me. Well, yeah, he seems a little sleepy right now. Okay? So these messages took place only 1 week after Zillow turned 18. And Parlo, this sick, disgusting fuck, is saying, oh, yeah, I'd love that, to a freshly 18-year-old. That's pretty damning, don't you think? As soon as Zillow turned 18, 2 days later, Wolfgang proceeded to get sexual in DMs, sending unsolicited nudes, which Zillow felt forced to receive and compliment, as Wolf would bait for positive attention. Like, dude, Wolfgang was seen throughout very early October showing Zillow sexualized outfits he wanted to purchase. And then Wolfgang says, imagine Zillow in you as I'm in him. And Parlo says, yes. Can you believe that Parlo would say this about somebody who was freshly 18? That's disgusting. What a freak.
Where you tell him, you know, come in here, ooh woo.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, why would you go back and delete the cuddle message?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
idea.
It does look bad, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I don't
Let's be
it
real.
does.
Okay,
Sure.
you went back and deleted this,
Correct.
right?
I
You didn't
did-
know that there had already been a screenshot taken.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I guess that's what happened. I don't really. Yeah.
Was it not true that
Well-
after Parlo and Zillow kind of like had a talk with you in that recorded message that we saw earlier, that recorded conversation, you immediately started calling Samuel, Ace, other people?
Yeah.
So you were thinking about it at the time, and you've been writing this
Yeah.
document ever since.
I wrote that document like a day or two ago.
But haven't you been talking about this with people ever since?
I have been talking in DMs to people about this.
Okay, so you have been thinking about it a lot, right?
I have, yeah, it's definitely been on my mind.
Okay.
Hold on a sec.
I mean, we can have Zillow come in right after this little thing's dealt with, and he can attest a whole lot
okay.
more.
So Zillow has said that he doesn't want to speak on live stream because he thinks he's not going to be coherent, okay? So I'm going to read out the
He can
message
speak
he
by
just sent
text
me. Yeah. So 5 minutes ago he said this. For clarification on that whole Byte thing, he sent the come in here DM a message before he sent that message to Byte. That looks like he deletes the message. I don't know if that's true. It could be. Okay, it could be.
Oh, this is the one that I want to watch. We're gonna watch this section because, wow, this was crazy. This one'll knock your socks right off, you guys. This one's crazy. So, internet adjacent says, I have no idea how, but I think I got chlamydia again. And then this other person says, oh shit, you get your bloods back? And internet adjacent says, nah, I didn't get tested till the 7th, but you remember that a femboy I told you about? Oh yeah, he said something about he may have an STD. He's been ghosting me ever since. Parlo goes on to say, Wolfgang is seen mentioning how he has another STD scare to his mutual friend, fearing that he has contracted chlamydia for a second time. He did not disclose his history of STDs with me before engaging in intercourse with me. This lack of basic transparency makes me extremely sickened and stressed. So for people who are apparently not stupid, you know that STDs and STIs are different. STIs are treatable and curable. If you had chlamydia, you treat it, and you no longer have chlamydia, you can't give it to anybody, and it doesn't matter. It would be like if I had to report every single time that I caught a cold. That's what the equivalent of this is. Now, if you have an STD, yes, those do need to be disclosed because they're transmittable and they're incurable, right? So we're thinking about herpes, we're thinking about HPV, we're thinking about HIV. These are things that never go away, okay? Things that are curable and treatable, you don't have to disclose like, hey, 10 years ago, I had fucking chlamydia, but I took care of it or whatever. Like, they are treatable. This is actually, like, fucking insane. If there's no risk of Parlo contracting anything because he doesn't fucking have chlamydia, then what's the point? That's so crazy.
I don't have rashes. What are you talking about?
You literally were going around telling mutuals that you had rashes and you needed ointment for it.
No, I said I have like a.
And you didn't tell me this beforehand?
Yeah, why would I?
You didn't tell me about your chlamydia diagnosis either, or your STD history. Only that
Did
you
I
had
have
one
chlamydia
STD
when we had
scare.
sex? Did I have? And I did tell you about my STD scare. It's in
Yeah,
DMs.
you told me the STD scare. It's not something I denied, but you never told me you had fucking chlamydia.
Because I don't have chlamydia.
Chlamydia.
You had
I have
chlamydia. You
Why
had
would I
it.
tell you about something I had that I no longer have? That doesn't make sense.
Because if you have a long history of having fucking knobby rashes and STDs, wouldn't it be a
I
little
don't
bit?
have rashes. What are you fucking?
Nobby. I think that we need to get revenge for the Revolutionary War. It wasn't enough that we got America. We have to go back and take Britain back as well. That's crazy. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, it's like, hey guys, gotta tell you, I had a cold last week. I don't have a cold anymore. I'm not contagious. Nobody's gonna get sick. But just so you know, for your safety, I had a cold last week. That's not how that fucking works, dipshit.
Fucking talking about?
You literally went around.
Didn't you say that there was
I can have mutuals come in and test this.
I had.
there was a dark mark that you went to your doctor
Yeah,
about,
there was a
and it was
dark
fine,
mark.
and it wasn't.
There was a-
Yeah.
there was a dark mark that my doctor told me was a skin irritation, and I asked him if I should get like tested for anything, and he said no, you're totally fine.
Okay, so when you went to like mutuals talking about,
He had like a birthmark, and he was like, "Dude, you literally could have had AIDS, dude." It was like a fucking birthmark.
like very bad eczema and rashes, potential contagious rashes.
No, I never
said. Just lying.
When did I say contagious rashes? That's just not
I said
true.
potential contagious rashes. They're just lying.
Potential contagious rashes, potential contagious AIDS, potential contagious COVID, potential contagious lymphedema, potential contagious pregnancy. Like, what do you mean potentially? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't have potential contagious rashes.
So
To be
your
fair, okay,
mutual
it seems that we went to the
information
doctor
was lying.
about this. It seems that we went to the doctor about it. He asked if you get tested. The doctor said no. It seems that we had a scare, but he no longer had chlamydia. It was cured by this time, right? Paul,
Yes, that
that
is
seems pretty
exactly
fair, right? He had an STI, and then it was cured. He's no longer infected. He's no longer infectious.
Yeah, and if I was
Or
told
did you
about
see
this
something that
beforehand,
convinced you that he did have an STD when you guys had sex?
what'd you say, sorry?
Or did you see something that made you thought that he had an STD while he had sex?
I mean, I almost threw up numerous times because, I mean, no offense.
Dude, I almost threw up. That's proof that he had chlamydia. That's proof. The number one symptom of chlamydia is vomiting. True.
It didn't. I listen. It was pretty fucking. No, it's nasty. It didn't smell very good.
Yeah, because we wanted it to happen like as soon as I got there, and I've been on a
Dude, his wiener was gross. Oh no, the gross wiener slander.
flight for 22 hours.
Listen, there's a reason why this shouldn't have been fucking public, and I don't know why you were campaigning for it to be such.
Because
This is the most fucking embarrassing, degenerate, disgusting fucking thing that you have now forced me.
Dude, are you for real? It was disgusting and degenerate, even though I did it willingly. Pick up your self-esteem, bud. It's okay.
To talk about.
Dickers can back me up about this. I was under different pretenses with this going public or not. Can you confirm that, Dickers?
Well, yeah, we spoke about it earlier, and I talked about it at the start of the stream. I think Himpleton sent you a DM from Avalon, and then apparently convinced you that this was going live any day now from Parlo's side, and so you should release your document. But I spoke to Avalon and Parlo, and apparently nobody over there had any intentions of making this public.
Okay.
So fucking Himpleton mogged. Himpleton gay ops again. First jar. Now internet adjacent. Who will be Himpled next?
At all.
You're getting too big for your boots.
And they were only going to release it if you released yours first. So it feels like there's been a little bit of maybe playing of both sides to be able to get this released publicly. That's
Listen,
realistically, if you're
I
asking the question,
numerous-
why is this public?
Sorry.
Himpleton played the drama game, I guess, and managed to get you guys to go public about it. I've already given my thoughts about that at the start of the stream, but yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily relevant to these allegations themselves. Yeah.
Crazy,
Yeah.
girl.
Aiden, you had something you want to inject with?
Well, yeah, I wanted to. Sorry, this is more my expertise. I wanted to ask a question about the chlamydia claim, and my apologies if I had missed this. But did you ever get retested and like tested negative in an adjacent?
And fucking Aiden is back now.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. So then
I even had another test not too long after, or not like, Jesus. I had another test about a month or two ago, and that also was negative, and I haven't had sex since.
So I guess.
these two might be
So I don't
there.
understand why we need to bring like your STD and eczema
Oh,
history.
that's a great question. Why the fuck is my fucking sexual history being flaunted for everyone to see?
True. Good
Because you
question.
not only weren't transparent about anything to do with the rashes that you were sharing with
these
mutuals,
things- yeah,
my
yeah,
mutuals
do
had to come and tell me. My mutuals had to come and tell me that you had been diagnosed with this stuff, and they didn't know the dates, but they
Yeah,
sure
I've
as
been
hell
diagnosed
very
with
certain that
chlamydia
you weren't being
before, and it's
transparent with
been
me about
Why
it.
does it
You
fucking
why I
matter
almost
that I-
threw up.
Dude, do you want him to disclose that he also had like childhood lymphoma or something like that? Like, that's fucking insane. He doesn't have chlamydia. You weren't at risk of contracting chlamydia. He did not have chlamydia. Like, hello?
I had it before,
Right,
and
let me
I
speak.
don't
Let
have
me
it
speak.
anymore.
Let me speak. Explain why I almost fucking threw up several times because that shit was fucking
Yeah, chlamydia makes you throw up. It's true. This guy's so
disgusting.
stupid.
And how
I told you, I've been on a plane for 22
You were
hours.
threatening. You were threatening my mutuals to come out about this situation, and you really didn't expect me to talk about the entire.
No, stay on topic, babe. Stay on topic, babe. Why? Why does he have to disclose to you previous issues that are no longer an issue? How many times have you ever had the flu before I give you a kiss? I need you to tell me right now. How many times have you had the flu? Name them. Now, let me see those medical records before I give you a kiss. You never know.
Of the ordeal. I almost fucking threw up, dude. This shit was disgusting.
Yeah, because I've been on a plane for 22
I
hours.
throwed
What
up.
kind of
Okay.
excuse is that? Never
Like,
once have I
mean,
almost fucking
yes,
thrown
because
up.
I've been on planes for 2 days. No fucking shit. Yeah, I was in fucking Crystal. I didn't even get fucking shampoo until the 3rd day. I had to use other people's shit.
Yeah, you could get shampoo at the fucking airport, dude. Like,
Explain why I barfed, then. Curious.
These excuses are stupid, and your fucking charger excuse is even more stupid, because not only do we have witness testimony that you're lying, but you came in and you were consistently pushing for sex, and you deleted messages to hide your shit.
Yet you still were like, dude, I want you to suck my pee-pee. That's crazy.
Listen, okay, let's move on from this. There's been a claim, you brought it up earlier, and I feel like we breezed past it.
We're moving
I don't know
on.
how much we're going to get with cock hygiene talk, alright?
What?
There was a conversation earlier about the fact that somebody had put a finger in somebody else's
Oh,
ass, and I believe there's also been a claim about a dildo called Cinderella.
Okay,
So,
alright, well, see,
when
this is
did
the
this happen?
embarrassing stuff. I
What's
asked
this
him,
talking about?
after he said that he wasn't cool to do stuff with the condom, I asked if he would want to do stuff with the dildo, and he said yes.
Is that true, Parlo?
After I consistently said no, and he eventually got the message, which is this is not the other allegation. I used. Wait, hang on.
Let's get
Hang on.
one at a time.
Exactly. I used the Cinderella, which was the bare minimum, in order to like. This is so fucking embarrassing to say, but like to fucking satisfy the fact that I clearly didn't want to do anything else, and it was the most uncomfortable fucking shit ever. But that isn't like the main allegation I'm levying here. It was just an additive context to the situation. To Cinderella.
Okay, so internet adjacent, do you want to respond? I think you said he was lying though.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, I asked if he wanted to do stuff, and he said, in regards to the condom, he said, yeah, at first, and then he changed his mind to saying no. And I was like, okay, so how do you feel about even this? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, well, you can do that.
Okay.
No.
It was not made of fucking glass. Also, I had to consistently say no in order for him to actually drop the situation, because he tore it out. That is true. I was making a lot of excuses as to why I didn't want to engage, and you consistently were pushing.
You're saying that you had to say no. Now you're saying you had to make excuses instead.
I made excuses and also said no. Those both can go hand in hand. You're trying to make some inconsistent narrative here, and it's not working.
Yes.
You try a bit harder.
You were saying no. Now you're saying that you were saying excuses. Now you're saying
This isn't working. Not only did I also say no, but I also came up with excuses on why I didn't want to do it.
Why are you panicking?
Again,
Why are we floundering?
those two don't have to be mutually exclusive. Try another thing.
Okay.
Why didn't you say that? Why didn't you say that? Why did you change your story?
I'm not changing anything, dude. You're the only one who's been deleting messages to hide your shit.
Dude, your literal whole document is just out of context bullshit. Come on.
Okay, so he did delete messages. I feel this has been slightly one-sided, okay? Parlo, I'm going to put the argument to you that internet adjacent seems not really able to do. You seem perfectly fine talking about sex beforehand, right? You seem really, really enthused. Then all of a sudden, you've got personal hygiene issues, there's, you know, whatever kind of turns you off, you're not into it anymore.
Tell me more.
At what point, if any, do you communicate that there has been a huge shift in what you're willing to do
He does
and what
not
you want to do
communicate it,
at
is
the
the
time?
answer.
Wow. Well, I would say that my first half of the document shows quite a lot of me showing clear signs that I simply just didn't want to engage sexually. As soon as I saw
That's literally fucking insane, because even when he was there, you said, I want you to suck my pee-pee. He literally...
I was instantly put off, and then it became incremental throughout the night. And then I found myself in a position where it was like, okay, I feel kind of forced to get this shit over with, because I've put myself in a fucking really deep hole. I'm scared of what happens if I say no, or the consequences or ramifications. But
He's scared of the consequences of saying no, but he wasn't scared of the consequences of going to the Airbnb and basically like shit-talking him to his fucking face. Hilarious.
too deep now in this shit, and it was genuinely horrible. It was like a fucking prison I essentially was in, like, okay, how am I going to deal with this with not pissing off IA, or because he is a relatively new person. I mean, I've only known him through text. I don't know how impulsive that they could be, or
oh my
how
god, you
unpredictable.
guys, he could literally be Jeffrey Dahmer. He could fucking kill him and cannibalize him. That's so fucking crazy.
I mean, the fucking suicide bait was enough in itself to be like,
oh
okay,
my
sometimes
god, that's so crazy. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Where is my goddamn folder? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Here is somebody saying, I'm worried about Parlo. He was literally slitting his wrists in VC and screaming and crying the whole time. Curious. That's really interesting, isn't it? That's really interesting. Here's another one right here. Parlo says wrist slitting, and then this person says ... don't. Parlo says do. Almost 200. Are you proud? Kirby says no. Parlo says had over 30, which bled. Kirby says no. Parlo says or more. IDK. Life doesn't get better. Considering hanging myself by the end of this month. Ooh. And then we have here this just incredible, thank God this is censored. This is a photograph of Parlo's slit wrists that he sent this person. This is an image of his slit wrists that he sent this person. Okay, crazy. Actually crazy, of course. Of course it is. Yeah, and then so Kirby says, actually, no joke. I was in a VC, 6 p.m., GMT plus 3. He was cutting himself and screaming, and I was just there. And this person says, the fuck? Kirby says, crying. And this person says, yeah, you told me it's a trigger for you. And then Kirby says, considering I'm 13. I don't know if you guys can see that. Considering that I'm 13. Considering I am 13. It's really convenient that this fucking dumbass wants to bring up suicide baiting, okay, that's you. That's you, bitch. That's you, bitch. You have the gold medal in suicide baiting. You have the gold medal in suicide baiting. If you want to show me screenshots of this guy sending videos of himself fucking cutting himself because you said no to having sex with him, then yeah, then we can talk. But absolutely not. Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not.
I can go off the fucking rockers.
Wait, okay. This is going to be one of those things, and I said at the start of the stream, so I don't know if you watched it, but there are a lot of things that you reference in your document that you knew before you actually, like, flew him out, right? Before you paid to have him flown out.
What
So
did
the
I know?
furry stuff that you reference, the suicide baiting, this is all stuff that you knew before you transferred him the cash to be able to fly out, right?
No, the suicide baiting I only knew after the main call, and I didn't know that I didn't give too much attention to the hospital images until after, because that's when a pattern started to develop. I didn't look into the Anthrocon stuff until after, because I didn't get given didn't get given, sorry, it's fucking late at night. I didn't get given the access to the document until I got in contact with mutuals of the person after the situation transpired. And to do with the furry images, I had to go around asking other people for a long pattern of this behavior until I realized, holy shit, dude's commissioning way too much of this problematic artwork. Because at first I believed it was isolated images.
They have this conversation about problematic artwork, okay? And you guys know how I feel about all this shit. I think all this shit is like degeneracy and gooning or whatever the fuck. It's like internet adjacent likes the furry stuff. I guess with like anthropomorphic, like the furry characters, but they have like dog dicks and shit like that. And yeah, that's kind of fucking weird. I agree. I completely agree with that. That's very weird. But so they have like a pretty hefty conversation about this, and so he knew ahead of time, right? So this is them going back and forth, talking about the shape of the dog dick or whatever, or the fact that it is a dog dick, or it's not actually anthropomorphic, or it's actually, I don't fucking know, okay? Whatever. This is them talking about the whole thing. Wolfgang is seen attempting to deflect the topic to his close mutuals while using the animal cast dildo manufacturers such as Bad Dragon, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, then they go on to talk about more furry shit. More. They're talking about it, like, quite consistently, okay? Wolfgang was seen continuing to defend the artwork as well as getting into semantic-based arguments to attempt to justify it. He once again deflected the situation. Wolfgang was then seen, I don't want to do this in public like you do. Yeah, dude, like, you knew. You knew that he was into weird freak shit. You knew that he was, and you still went anyway. Like, that wasn't a deal breaker for you or a line in the sand. And then he also shows, when they're talking about the threesome, yet again, he says that, like, oh my god, we were in a group chat together, and he was sending, like, all this, like, furry artwork, okay? So, Wolfgang was seen making sexual fantasies known in regard to Zillow, stating how he wanted to have sex with him. And so this is the group chat that they were in together called Oktoberfest. And so these are, you know, the graphic depictions of, like, weird furry yif porn and shit like that or whatever. So he knew that he was into all this freak shit. And now it's only an issue after the fact, even though he was acutely aware that he was into this freak shit when they met up. Okay.
Oh, no, you're interjecting, and I didn't to you. You commissioned a bunch. I mean, you commissioned hundreds of dollars of fucking furry content.
Okay.
And there was about isolated examples of where you could have plausible deniability defense that you didn't commission that, or you didn't have control of the knotted images and stuff. But they were really fucking weird.
Real quick.
So can we talk about that, by the way?
Hold on. We can put a pin in this, because what I was trying to ask Parlo is, a lot of this stuff you either found out after the fact, right? If you find out the suicide baiting after the fact. I'm talking about your mental state in the time, why you didn't want to say no directly. Apparently you didn't want to upset him, you didn't want to piss him off. I think you said earlier, this may have been a call we had together.
Redirect,
this guy
I like that.
schizo.
Redirect
You said that when you finally did
refocus.
confront him, you had, like, police on standby, you didn't know what he was going to do. Despite the fact you hadn't shown anything to be violent before,
Correct.
you had a lot of anxiety around what would happen if you said no. You spoke about your deep hole. You spoke about getting in.
You spoke about your deep hole. Dickers, chill. Dude, he was speaking about his deep hole.
And so you're in, like, a hole that you couldn't, like, get out of. You'd put yourself in this situation. You suddenly realized you weren't interested anymore, and you didn't know how to get out, but you didn't feel comfortable saying no directly.
Yeah, he knew that as well. I told him on the 13th.
On the 13th, by the way. not like.
This was after you attempted to deny that ever happening, by the way.
Can I point something out, by the way? You're saying, like, I don't know what this guy would do if I said no. Well, we do know, because there's an instance in the DMs where you're saying you're not into it, you don't want to do stuff tonight, and I literally go, okay, that's fine.
Correct. That's correct. We do. And so if Parlo has, like, this anxiety or this fear, when all of the tangible evidence and previous encounters demonstrate the exact opposite, that's, like, a him problem. Like, Wolfgang didn't show any indication that he would be aggressive or violent or like, just fucking rape his ass anyway or whatever the fuck. His anxiety about that happening, even when shown otherwise, is like, that's his own fucking problem to deal with. Like, if you have reason to believe that somebody is going to be aggressive towards you, certainly, of course. But literally the opposite happened, where he had expressed that he didn't want to do something, and Wolfgang was like, okay, yeah, no problem. Hello? The deep holes.
Again, full context, because keep in mind you didn't include literally any of our full context conversations, and you only showed 2 instances.
Also, I like how Aiden is just in here. Good for him.
Those aren't situations I brought up literally whatsoever, and the entire point of bringing up these conversations was to show a history of you consistently pushing sexual-based conversations whenever you wanted them to start.
We had said before the trip that we would at least, like, I don't know. Like,
Oh
I
my
remember
God,
exactly how
dude.
often, but I remember us talking about
Wait,
like,
hold on, let me finish.
I remember us talking about having sex like once a day while during this trip. I don't know if you said it. I don't know if I said it, but one of us definitely said that.
What can I do with that information? Because you've not provided a time, a day, or who the fuck said this, so what can I do with this?
I mean, it's in our.
Why don't we look at his document, dude? Because you're in here gooding like crazy, saying you want to fuck. You're like, oh my god, let's fuck. Like, you guys literally planned the trip to have sex. That was the point of the trip, was for you guys to have sex. That is why you guys met up. Hello? Have y'all made it? I'm going to make you blow as quick as humanly possible. You have no idea. Do you want to do it shortly after or right when I get there? Sex night or no? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure, buddy.
You've shown a fucking tendency of quite literally stuttering the entire time when you were brought up how you fucking deleted.
Okay.
When you deleted your messages, you literally couldn't recite a time. You couldn't recite context.
There is one message I
This
deleted.
is unrelated, Parlo. Okay, hold
Also,
on. Would you
Vickers, can you
agree
read
or
out-
disagree to the fact that in your DMs, that you are clearly planning like a sex-filled weekend? There's going to be a lot of sex going on.
Correct.
That was the intention. That was the hope. That was what you discussed previously.
Yeah,
Correct.
but I don't like how it's being mischaracterized as an entirely based event like that. It was like we were meant to be going out with just friends around London. It wasn't just meant to be.
Dude, you guys literally, a core part of the trip was that you guys were going to fuck. Yes. Hello?
That.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
first.
it wasn't part of it. Sorry, it wasn't all of it, but it was part of it, right?
Wait, okay, can I say this real quick? Because at first it was supposed to just be me and Parlo. So it wasn't supposed to be just a friends thing at first. It was supposed to be just me and him. Because it was after I sent him a photo of my fucking cock, he was like, dude, I need you here. Like, I can't wait until December, which is the second trip we planned. You're like, I need you here earlier.
Yeah, because that happened, yeah.
So the entire purpose of me coming there was not just like started from like you seeing nudes of me. That was like the entire point of this trip at first was for me and you to hang out. It was like just me and you.
Then how did Zillow get introduced into all this?
But yeah, this is like such a null point because even if that was
Shut
true,
up,
it was
let him
literally
answer.
and
Shut
was up until the 12th, of course, a social event of all of us going out to parties, going to fucking Weatherspoons, going around Hyde Park and shit like that. It was a social event, and everyone was stating how you were making it oddly sexual to your own benefit and making it all about yourself.
Because that was the entire fucking.
Are those people willing to come on stream and say it, Parlo?
It could have
Are
been.
those people willing to
It
come
was
on
not
stream
them.
and say it, or is that what people have just told you in private?
Sorry, what?
Is that stuff that people are willing to come on stream and say, or willing to, or they've got DMs of it, or is that just people things
No,
that people said to in
that's
private?
like that's like testimony from the people who are out there making about
Yeah, but
himself.
Are
Yeah.
there DMs?
When did I make anything
Or
about
is there
myself?
proof for it, or is this just hearsay?
Would you call testimony from someone there hearsay? Yeah, it's hearsay.
Okay,
I guess you
it's
could
a
say that.
recording.
But it was literally Zillow.
Have you got a recording? Have you got a screenshot? Are they willing to come on stream about it? Is this something that Zillow would say?
I mean, Zillow can communicate via text, but considering it's like fucking 23, my
You guys were literally in a group shot called Oktoberfest where you're planning how you were going to have a three-way. I would say that probably indicates that you guys are going to fuck on the trip, I think. I think if you're planning a trip and you're planning the trip around a threesome, I don't know.
might be asleep by now.
Okay. All right, so we can go on. So the reason you didn't feel able to say no was because you didn't want to upset him, and so you didn't want to be like too harsh with it, but you feel as though we should be able to take the hint. Okay, so I think we glanced over, we went straight to the Cinderella and didn't talk about the finger. Because I think this has been, like, it sounds silly, but this has been a cool thing
We gotta come back to the finger.
you spoke about, Parlo. That he sticks his finger in your ass without asking you. You don't ask him to. You don't give permission. Was there discussion of doing anal during that sexual encounter? Or during that, like, sex session?
It was more of oral at the time. I explicitly do not remember giving any consent for that to happen, and my body kind of froze and went rigid when it happened.
You did though. That's the whole point.
Dude, you know how when goats get scared, they just like fucking fall over? Is that what happens to this guy? He just fucking collapses.
No,
You just said you wouldn't remember that. I do. You absolutely said that. That would
I did not give you consent for that. I would have explicitly remembered.
Cinderella, since you didn't want to use like a condom and actually have sex.
Wait, no, hang on. We're talking about the fingering shit.
Well, yeah, this is exactly the same as that.
No,
It's
you
like
just
you
brought
weren't
the
willing.
Cinderella.
Can you let me finish my point, please? You're being incredibly rude right now.
Okay, let's go one at a time. Let's go one at a time.
Yeah, Dickers,
Hey,
tell
aye.
him.
Oh yeah, go.
I was going to say, like, this is exactly like it was with the Cinderella. He was not willing to go all the way and have like just full on sex with me, which is fine. I wasn't like bothered by that. Which is why we didn't do anything like totally like we didn't do anal. But he did. He said he was fine to use the Cinderella, and I said like, are you cool with me like doing a little bit of fingering? And he's like, yeah, sure. And that's what I did.
That's not true. He's lying.
You
It
just
happened
you
before
wouldn't.
that.
You literally just said you don't remember anything like that.
No.
It's true. He was like, I don't recall. And then he was like, well, this is what I think happened. It's like, actually, that's a lie. Suddenly you remember.
No, you're literally making shit the fuck up. This was during oral while you were doing it to me. This was not before the Cinderella. You're making
I said, do you mind if I said, do you mind if I slip like a finger back there? And you said, you were like, like you didn't mind.
No. Dude, you've literally been caught out in 5 fucking lies right now.
Why is he?
Okay,
Why are
you saying that's a lie, Parlo?
Okay, well, it's not fucking true on his part, so like, how are we gonna move on from here?
Well, no, I'm just saying, are you saying that's a lie? Because you said a few seconds ago you couldn't remember.
Get his yes.
Remember what? No, I literally stated that I, like, under no circumstances remember giving consent whatsoever for that to happen.
Okay,
Is that been lost in translation or something? Because I do remember the situation.
Okay, can you remember definitively not giving consent, not enjoying it, not expecting it?
Yeah, I didn't expect it. It was
you saying
during
your
oral.
body went rigid?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Internet adjacent. Can you?
You guys mind if I come in the back door? This isn't real. This isn't real. Dude, this is this is crazy.
You remember his body going rigid at the time? Seemed like he was pretty shocked by it. Did you notice that?
Did you notice that he turned into a scared goat?
No, he was actually super into it.
No, I wasn't. I was extremely uncomfortable. No, I was not. You're full of fucking shit. That's such a rude thing to say. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Internet adjacent. Why do you say that he's super into it?
Because he even scooted his like ass closer to me. Like he got closer to me when I did that.
He was throwing it back on it, dude. Oh my god, this is terrible. This is fucking awful, dude. Dude, why are we talking about this in public? Why are we talking about this in public?
Parlo, is that true?
This is such a fucking disgustingly degenerate thing. No.
Okay. I literally would never enjoy sex. That's crazy that you would say that. That's degenerate. I would literally never throw it back, you guys. I want it written in blood. I would never throw it back. I would never throw it back, you guys. I would never.
Okay. So you're saying that absolutely wasn't true?
It's pure dry insertion, like the most uncomfortable fucking thing ever.
Pure dry insertion? What is... Dude, suddenly I hate gay men more than I hate lesbians. This is crazy.
I meant to retroactively know it was going to happen either. It was happening during oral as well.
It was completely
you
dry.
wanted to do it, and then you were like, yeah, and then I did it.
Did he just say I hooked to it?
It was completely dry.
That's not true at all.
Because I would think at the very least you'd probably use spit or something like that. No, you're saying during this is completely dry.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, he didn't even give him the hook to it.
Internet Jason, are you saying that he agreed to be fingered completely dry?
I figured the lube from the Cinderella was still good enough that I could use that.
It did not happen. So he's fucking lying again. It was not before. It was literally before the Cinderella. It was not after.
No, it was after.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was fucking.
Because apparently this was during this is during oral. So Internet Jason, are you saying you started with anal? You started with anal.
We started with oral. Then we like.
You know, I think that we should get out MS Paint and we should construct a timeline. Okay, we need to construct a detailed timeline here so we can understand the escalation of sexual events. Was Cinderella before the finger bang? And was the finger bang Haktud or not? Please confirm.
He was getting like lube and shit, and that's when I asked about the Cinderella. Then he came back for oral, and then I was like, "Can I like stick a finger in there?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure."
Fucking true.
I'm never having sex. Never. You guys never have sex. Guys, never. This is so bad. Did you not notice me knocking? Please.
Actually, full of shit.
Absolutely.
It's not. It's genuinely not.
Okay. On the topic of
you know.
So was it dry or not?
What was happening? It was sitting down at the edge of the bed.
There were 2 instances of oral. That's
Thank you, Kaiji, for giving a little hot toe out of that thing, so it doesn't have to go in dry. Oh, thank you, Kaiji. Everybody witness. Hot toe it.
what I'm saying. No, because I was laying down and you were to the side of me. You were laying on my side.
And you put your hand around and then you did that without my fucking...
So we were laying down on our... Hang on. Hang on. Okay. So we're laying down on our side. Okay, so we're like that. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just kidding.
Knowledge that you were going to do that.
No, I did that. I asked you and I did that, and then you said you got closer to me. I don't even think... No. I don't even think this is during oral. I think this is while you were just like giving me a hand job after like that at first. I actually think that's.
Oh, dude, it wasn't even during. He was drugging it.
That's what it was. I think that's why this is getting lost in translation, because I think you're thinking this is a different instance entirely. I think you're thinking this is when you like first blew me. Which, if that's the case, how would I have even been able to do that? Because I would have been laying on my back, and you would have been.
How many times are you just going to make this?
Literally, I was in reverse cowgirl, and you were in the lotus position. Obviously, we quite literally could not have possibly engaged in haktuing with the positions laid out to us. Okay.
I'll keep changing your story, dude.
Your legs would have been completely off the bed. How would I have done that to you while you were blowing?
And you would have been upside down with your legs over your head, and you would have been contorted into a small pretzel. How would I possibly have been?
That doesn't make sense.
You're just changing your story like 50 times over.
It's a very good fucking point.
You went from saying this was before this. You went from saying this is after the Cinderella to before the Cinderella.
Yes, this was after the Cinderella. You blew me after the Cinderella, and you like gave me a hand job, man. That's why I'm saying this is after.
That's like a scoreboard. 1 Cinderella, 2 new vapes, 3 fingers in my ass, 4 more Jorkinits. Oh my god.
Because you were like to the side of me, which if you were like blowing me, like you like are saying that's when this was, how would I have even been close to your ass? Your ass would have been.
Okay, I need to know how tall everybody is. I need to know how tall everybody is so we can like map out the logistics of this, okay? Because if he's 5'7" and Parlo is like 5'2", then yes, I agree. However, if Parlo is 5'1" or taller, then this certainly could work. I need post stats, please.
Completely off the bed while I was laying on my back. That makes no sense.
So you're now contending that you never slipped a finger in, or this was during a different time? Parlo was giving you a hand job, and somehow at that point you were able to slip a finger in?
Here's what it was. I was laying on my back, and he was like cuddled to the side of me, and he was like doing that stuff. And I was
so anyway, I was throwing it back crazy style, and he was, you know, at a 48-degree angle, slightly to the left, tilted with one leg up in the air and the toe curled to the right. What are we doing? Playing Battleship? What the fuck is happening? Dude, I'm gonna fucking cut myself. This is the worst that's ever happened to me. Dude, this is crazy. I'm encouraging everybody to join me in becoming born again virgins. This is fucking crazy.
I was like, do you mind if I put a finger
Giving you a hand job?
Like, no. Yeah. And I was like, do you mind if I put a finger in there? And he's like, no. And that's what I did it. Like I reached my hand around and did that.
No. This is so fucking stupid. No.
Okay, so you're saying that's just a direct lie?
You just have to process the fucking eldritch position one would have to get into in order to do that. You would not be laying down flat on your back if you were to reach over to do that.
Like I can draw stick figures doing this if I can make a diagram better.
Dude, I'm gonna throw up. You guys, I'm gonna get chlamydia and throw up if they draw a fucking diagram of this, please. Oh my god, please, dude, they're gonna fucking do that. Please.
That's fine. Aiden wanted to this feels like we're circling. Parlo was saying something exactly who's making what claim at what time. It feels like things have changed, but it's slightly confusing. I guess we'll have to figure out when we watch back on the stream exactly who's changed their story, when, about what. It seems like there's a lot of like direct contradictions. Like at some point somebody is lying here, right?
Yeah.
Well, so
okay.
I want to. Yeah, so I essentially want to ask Parlo. It's agreed you paid for IA's flight out, right? Which amounted to what?
Hold
About
on real quick. 1.1. IA, while Parlo's answering this, could you please draw us a diagram? If there's a contention over that.
Do they actually draw the diagram? Somebody tell me who's seen this. Do they actually do
these days?
Sorry, go ahead, Aiden.
Gotta work. Okay. So,
okay. So that amounted to what? About 1,000 USD? You'd say?
1.1.
Okay, 1.1 USD. Got it. And was there an expectation of reimbursement at some point, or this was you were just paying for this?
Paying for this.
Got it. So the trip began on when was it the 10th? Was it the 10th of October?
10th, yeah.
Okay, so my question then would become.
You guys, are they all fuck?
Because it seems like
GoFundMe, right?
Yeah, on the 23rd was it the 23rd of September? You had a GoFundMe asking for money, which you didn't meet goal for like necessities like paying bills, food, that kind of stuff. So where did this money come from?
So I had my GoFundMe linked to my account, but I didn't complete a couple steps until weeks after the GoFundMe was originally done, and that GoFundMe was signal boosted by my goodbye video. So if I go onto my GoFundMe right now, GoFundMe, it is advertised as a GoFundMe for legal expenses and also just like food and stuff, because I don't really have a channel right now considering I've got like 2 strikes. So it's been, of course, used for that kind of stuff, but it's not been falsely advertised. So if I go into my GoFundMe right now, yeah, give me a minute. Great, I'm signed out. Perfect.
I think the point is like still, why did you make a GoFundMe if you had at least enough to pay for me to come visit you?
Yeah, you do realize the money was taken out weeks after the payment to you, and I've been $5,000 down since everything. Like, I don't know what kind of gotcha point this is, because I'm out of employment.
The gotcha point is, you're like, I'm literally starving and I'm gonna die. I'm so hungry, please, guys. I don't have any money. I actually just spent all of my money buying a brand new laptop, and then flying my Cinderella princess out to see me.
Right now, I've got the entire situation with my dad and the police and not having a house and being $5,000 down and also wanting to take legal action on people who've made false police reports against me. I'm not sure how this is like a point of contention here. I mean, it seems to be you kind of grasping at straws to deflect away from the main situation at hand. I mean,
that's kind of what a lot of your...
I still don't know if Internet Adjacent's back got washed. I still don't know if it was ever washed. And I don't know if we went in dry or not. I need those answered.
Claims were
I mean, you talk about the whole like chlamydia thing, which I think is like
you're the one who
okay to point out.
No one else was talking about that but you.
No, you literally were bringing up how it was like extremely personal stuff. However, it's like I had every right to know, considering you relinquished those key details.
You don't have the right to know about somebody's previous illnesses that they no longer have and can't share with you. That's not how that works.
Details away from me, but told literally everyone else.
Why would I tell you about a disease I no longer have?
Good question.
Oh my god, you're missing.
Guys, before we get into this there's gonna be a whole sub dialogue. I just want to ask, so there's like no room for confusion. Parlo, do you understand how if I was a member of the public reading your GoFundMe, rent, food, and monthly bills, and it's like stipulated, talking about like that it's a horrible period of time. You need potentially you need funds for further action. Talk about your diagnoses, you being a victim, etc.
Yes, but the money from that was not used to pay for that because I only got it transferred weeks after.
No, the reason that you didn't have the money to pay your bills is because you spent your money on dumb shit. That's the problem, right? If you are somebody who is in financial strain, your responsibility is to manage your money appropriately. And the reason that you were down on your luck is because you willy-nilly spent your money on bullshit. And that's no one's fault but your own. That's the contention.
Because I didn't link that to my Nationwide account until weeks after. So the money from that was not
on your
But if you needed donations from the public to get by and pay your bills, why was the 1,000 not used towards that?
Exactly. No, the money from that is used for legal expenses and also food.
Can I get a link to this real quick?
Yeah.
It's on my description for my channel.
Well, because it looks like this is basically like you need this money out of necessity. The way this seems
correct
to be posted. I don't know. Maybe Dicker's views it differently.
I'll take a look for a link. Hold on real quick.
By the way,
I sent you a link. I DM'd you a link.
53 here right now.
I do get out of work pretty soon, so my audio quality will be a lot better.
Super chat.
I won't be constantly
Super sticker. Buy membership, gift the membership. Everything's appreciated. It all goes towards support the stream. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. We're grifting in the middle of the rape review. That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up of Dickers. Okay. It's late. It's late, guys. And I am unwell.